just joked I don't dribble on my shirt nearly as much.
Okay, cool. Got that on camera. So we are back with. Yeah.
Wow, that's a powerful
Microphone.
camera.
You're on home video, guys.
Oh, sweet.
no.
Oh.
Prepare for wacky hijinks. Earn me $200.
This is
This show is
you.
horrible.
Oh wait, that was a terrible intro. Let's start again. Yeah. All right.
Is the audio actually on this time?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Double checking. Yeah.
Aluminum with a knife.
All right. Well, I cut mine off because I had about like 25 seconds to dribble there.
Listen, people love the nonsense. I'm pretty sure. So
I
on
edit
that
it all
note,
every time.
But
Or is it
the
aluminium?
best bit. Oh, we need a behind the scenes an outtakes, if you will.
but it's gifted.
We'll sell it on DVD.
Blu-ray
Well,
edition.
No, that's waffled at the beginning for Sam to edit out. Welcome to another episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We're going to start in our usual manner of introduction. First up, we have Blackheart as.
Carrick Marsk.
We have Kronos as.
Shucks and Road Scholar.
We have Hatden as.
Tilde.
We have Marcus as.
Corvus Adalas.
We have Sammy as.
Gift and Graysteel.
We have Tobias as.
Let's be a Pierce still shot.
And you have me, Yuli, as your friendly DM. Before I ask who would like to give the recap, I am going to give a reminder that you've all been rewarded for your Tamari homework. Everyone has gotten a +1 to charisma. So if you've not gotten that down,
A 10.
make sure it's down. And your next piece of homework is focused on my Eerie, which will probably give wisdom or con or something. I don't know. I'll figure out when that happens.
I was gonna actually ask, can you on that post, because it doesn't
an end
matter
date?
to everybody else, give us an end date so we've got.
No.
Okay.
Now.
What do you
Decided
mean?
we're done.
Oh.
Yeah,
end date
because
for
basically
when
you
we
guys finished the other one really, really quickly. And I was sitting there going, I was going to be any revisions. No, it's finished product. Well, that was a lot of time that could have been spent doing something else.
I've
So,
made 2 submissions so far, guys. I'm really keen on the second one because it looks like a boob.
The
I will talk to you about
Very
that
fitting.
tomorrow as long as I get work done and you're around.
okay, boobs.
But,
Boob?
I mean, make sure you use her around. She really likes them.
That's true. But on
I
that
said
note,
work done.
who
Oh.
would like to give the recap? Are we going to get a volunteer who hasn't done it in a while?
Or will the dice decide?
Or would it be voluntold?
I will volunteer to do next week, no matter who does it this week.
I
Okay.
did last week.
In that case, we're going to leave it up to the whims of fate.
Fate.
You'd think I would remember to have my dice box out before these sessions, but I never do.
I wouldn't.
Oh, thanks, guys. I really appreciate the photo of confidence in my abilities.
I'm pretty sure
sorry,
you're
what?
lying to us and you've had it out the whole time.
I never thought you
you
put
have
your dice
supportive
away.
friends? I don't think so.
I never put my dice away. I have
Okay.
this big, heavy.
I'm picking up a
I
chocolate.
am going to exclude Toby and Sammy for now. I'm just going to roll a d4.
Oh.
Going down the list.
Caltrops in action.
That is a 1. That is Blackheart.
Okay. Okay, so last week on Survivors of Tarnstead, we started by dropping our variety of instruments we picked up and our other goods off at the airship, and then headed to the camp to fetch Corvus's dad. Well, more to talk to him. We kind of talked to him, finding out about how he got there, since last we had known he had died at Tarnstead. Went over the whole one of him being saved, then being not saved, and then finding out he had a clone the whole time, and that's why he looks like a man far younger than and those of us that had met him in Tarnstead ever knew. See where I am in my lines. Okay. Found out a little bit more about Corvus's family, including what happened with his mother, why the family separated apart due to some unfortunate bit of thievery. We then actually asked him actually about the whole Morgani thing, and he didn't have any direct things yet, but it sounded like he was kind of seeing if he could think of anything else. We then, well, he was getting ready to head to the airship and everything. Well, technically to the gates, I guess would be a better one. We went to the military encampment to talk to Captain / General Costner, and collected the information about what they wanted built and the materials and everything they wanted. And on the way there, found out why Shax didn't trust the man. You know, some... what's the best way to describe that? Very unmoral choices and such done in against civilians. I'm just making sure I'm not missing stuff in my notes. Corvus, and so we actually get permission from... Why can I never pronounce this name? The name of the kingdom we're in.
Premier.
Fulamir. I want to keep calling it something else. To take Corvus's dad through to Dulvwood. Gifton opens the door to send them through one of the trees, and we arranged for Valda to actually come and watch it, because Valda's really interested in magic she has not done herself. Set up a whole set of viewing apparatus to see the different, I guess, magical alignments. I'll be honest, Carrick kind of spaced out during that discussion because he doesn't understand that kind of magic. Wow. This is where I get the fun one. Oh, yes. We actually went into the Feywild and met, unfortunately, the person whose name I cannot actually read my writing for. Thank you. I'm going to fix this so I can read that name. A very morass. Morass? No, that's not the word.
Morose.
I was close with the word.
Not sure you were.
They sound similar. They're very different meanings. Very morose individual, as it comes with the Fae. A lot of death and dark colors compared to the other Fae that we had met previously. And we found out he's alone, it seems. We're hoping to... Well, Gifton was hoping to maybe connect him back with the rest, but he kind of likes where he is. He let us know that he was kind of worried he was going to be losing control of his lands to the other Fae before all this happened. And we kind of found a little bit about the mechanism that's kind of blocked out the Fae and the rest of Hexenreich by seeing the giant pillar apparatus that are set up over in the Feywild. And Gifton, while casting magic, found out some of what happens, because there was, I want to say feedback's the best way? From casting, it kind of set off an alarm.
Alert, yeah.
Yeah.
And it absorbed by magic.
Yeah. It was... That's where I have end of notes. I'm not sure if I'm missing something there at the end.
We hung out with him for a while longer, and then when we left, we ran into Sigmund and an unnamed dragon.
That's right.
And Sigmund was like, "Here is someone for you to talk to." And it wasn't really clear on if he was talking to us
or the dragon,
or if he was talking to the dragon. But we originally went to go see the Fey Lord because Valda had called us into the city to do that by happenstance. She found out we were teleporting people and wanted to watch. So Valda led us to the Fey Lord.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead and take standard inspiration. I don't have pizza in my mouth.
You do.
Nope, it is
Pizza.
totally
Take a
French fries.
Yum, 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 yum.
Oh.
I hope it is delicious.
You don't have a prayer immediately or anything I help?
I'm pushing the button. And nope.
Okay.
I can get one more standard, so I'm gonna have to try to burn something this time.
Nice.
Alright. So yes, we pick up where we left off with the somewhat imposing form of Sigmund, although frankly I think a few of you may have been getting used to Dracoliches at this point.
Gifton's experiencing the disproportionateness of not having been herself in a long time and suddenly having to look straight up at two dragons.
Yeah, Sigmund is definitely looking down at you with a slightly quizzical air.
Gifton's also giving a slightly quizzical air and then starting to pat her pockets quickly to try and find her ring and then slip that back on as she looks embarrassed as all get out.
How, knowing that there's different levels of Dracolich look, how
Does the
How
unnamed
does Sigmund look? Yeah.
Sigmund is completely bone.
Okay.
He's a lot more sort of decorated than Melinda is at this moment. Like he has like a lot of sort of cloth and what actually looks like to be woven leather parts that remove the accenting of his ribcage and so on.
What he's wearing, does it have any, like, can we tell where he may have been from? Although I'm pretty sure from the name I can tell, but...
Go ahead and give me a history check. Anyone with tailoring that wants to make a history check and has tailoring can do so with advantage.
I will do it with advantage. Well, also Cassie.
Yeah, that's true.
And, also Carrot, because I think he might be, I don't know what he does.
I don't have tailoring. I've got other stuff. But I have a good history check. So
Jackson has literally every tool.
This is for Sigmund.
This is for Sigmund.
Yes.
History. Where's history? There's history. And Tilly's just like, I don't need any sort of advantage. I find your advantages beneath me.
I mean, neither did I with my 34.
Yeah, but you're a dragon.
Yeah, to be fair, I rolled badly.
Okay.
I mean, I only have 3 points above you, so you and I rolled pretty close.
So Sigmund, has a mostly Hexenreich style dress. However, you can pick up that there is what you assume to be some kind of draconic family crest. That is sort of on his left shoulder, foreshoulder, and that has rather Baratheon stylings to it.
That brings up an odd out of character question.
Mhm.
But go ahead, Gifton first.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to go in character, but so
Okay.
go ahead and get your character stuff done.
Have I ever seen any from around Grandma that I could attribute to a family crest by any chance?
You have not.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna swoop into a deep curtsy really quick here and go. Council member Sigmund, it's a pleasure to see you. We weren't expecting anybody right outside.
Not necessary to bow, my friends. Nor is it necessary for you to assume a form.
Being polite.
Well, do not feel the need to maintain that degree of politeness. We would rather people be comfortable in themselves here. Whichever shape pleases you, please maintain it. But
I will take that under advisement, sir.
On to other matters. I know why you originally came here, and it is about time that you were met with your goal, I suppose. Yeah. This is Marin Atlasnef. You may call him Marin. And the
Is
other
it Marlin or Malin?
Marin
Marin? Okay.
Alaneferef.
Alaneferef.
Yeah.
Somebody else need to say that again for
Would
me.
you like me to type it?
Malin.
Malin. Alaneferem.
Okay, good.
Oh, I thought you were saying Malin. So it's not Malin, it's Marin.
Marin.
It's Marin.
Marinara.
Oh, no, I actually mistyped it. It is Marlin.
Okay. you're literally messing with me at this point.
At this point, she's technically messing with all of us.
All right, Melon.
No, I am being
racist.
I am being mean.
It's kind of a racist.
I am being mean because there is a slight accented hint of an R there that isn't written.
Nithoreth. Okay.
The Phantom R's.
Malin.
Because there's not a Neth or Ith, there's just a Reth. Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
fishy.
I'm gonna give another curtsy. Pleasure to meet you, Sir Malinethoreth, if I'm saying that right.
Marlin will do, please.
Malin.
Pleasure to meet you.
I am Gifton Greysteel. This is Carrick Marsh. This is Cassiopeia Steelshod, Shaxan Scala, and Lord Telday.
Marlin seems to bow his head to the group of you, sort of looking over you curiously. While Sigmund goes, I shall be nearby if I am needed. And he just sort of nods at Marlin, and as he goes by, there's a moment where he leans in close and he goes, "You are friendly, do not worry. Shout if you need me." And he basically continues back past him through the wooded path.
Mm-hmm.
Telday will smile.
Hey,
and the void has opened.
No, he does smile as hard as he can.
Because I don't. Because I can't
You know
remember
how your eyes change a little bit when you're smiling?
Yeah, that expression where the eye creases around your face change slightly because you're changing shape your eyes.
No,
that
what it is his eyes go from having a little bit of red in them to being all blue.
For all intents and purposes, as far as all of you can tell, Marlin looks very alive.
Because I don't remember if we covered it. What color is he?
1 second, let me check the notes.
Rainbow.
Marlin is a blue.
Oh, we have not had an actual talking experience with blue yet.
Had thunder experiences.
And Marlin's sort of sitting on his haunches, his tail curling around his legs, and
oh, and this is Lord Dinkus of the Bridge. So I give Dinkus a good kiss on the side of his cheek. We understand you've been through quite a bit. I'm sorry we came a long way because we heard
my death.
We heard they'd cured a dragon of madness.
There's a slight snort.
And we came a long way because in Barras, it's taken hold there too. And we're very worried about our dragon brethrens.
Here I am, mind as clear as could be, and little else going on inside.
I'm sorry.
Not sure if he's calling himself an idiot or not.
I am making an insight to see if that's like...
There is bitterness in his voice. Very clear.
It isn't my place to say. I know they were trying to help you, but I can understand that could have felt like a violation of your choice.
Yes, you could say that.
How are you doing with that?
He actually looks up at the sort of canopy above you all, just in his ponder, and goes, different each day. Don't quite know yet.
Mm.
Today's one of the better days.
May I
That
ask
is
you
good
about
to hear.
something that might be a bit upsetting? And I do apologize.
Hickman told me that this might be a troubling meeting. I'm here all the same, please.
While you were under the madness, did you feel any compulsions of a directing nature? Or was it just very random and sporadic?
It's hard to discern. Looking back, I feel there was a path I was following. But it never felt like I was being told where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Simply where I went. And there's a sort of low sigh, as if somebody that's trying to make themselves act a little more professionally. If I were asked this in my line of work, I would likely assume that yes, there was direction.
Well, what, pray tell, was your line of work? I'm very sorry to pry. I don't. I'm a stranger on the soil, as you could guess.
Yes, I'm told it's impolite here, but I am not ready to let go of who I am. So,
Well,
I thank you for your question, and I will gladly tell you I was a tactician.
oh, that's really good to hear.
Is it
I
now?
bet you. I am rubbish at tactics, and I could definitely use a sounding board.
I
What?
don't know
Help
how much you
killing my
relish.
countrymen that will arrive here?
Yeah.
Oh, finding a way to forestall them. I have a lot of tools that we can put to action, but we need to protect what's left of those that are still out there, and then minimize the amount of harm that we do to anyone else.
There's no minimizing what's coming. These people have brought me back just to see the end of all I know.
We hope to not have that happen.
We do not intend to let it end.
Hopes are very good to keep.
I know, but they're dangerous and they're painful, but it's what keeps us going day to day. If you don't want to participate in any way, I would respect that, but if you do want to put your keen mind to work, I would gladly accept any counsel you could
They
give.
actually raise up a one of their forelimbs, claws unfurling, and for a moment it actually looks vaguely threatening, but you quickly realise it's actually a gesture of sort of, acquiescence. It's okay. That sort of fake wave. It's like, forgive me, I am letting my own bitterness with the situation. I'm not a rude person by nature.
No, I'm sure you're not. You're in a very awful situation. I mean, you literally had your choice and free will taken from you kind of twice on two very major matters, and I understand. So if like I said, if you don't want to, if you need your space, sir, I don't understand how anyone's supposed to go through that.
Either way, I do not see that I would be of much use. I was a tactician, yes, but a very minor one. I oversaw the actions of a couple of local regiments, that is all. I am to understand that the city has quite a few minds leaned in that direction already.
I have forces coming from abroad in Barast. And I'm not entirely certain how to properly distribute them.
He closes his eyes for a moment before going eyes still closed. You'll have to pray forgive me. I do not feel comfortable assisting Brassian forces, if I am to assist any at all.
I understand.
So it isn't entirely fair.
Others may have asked you this before. How to approach going crazy.
What's a question?
My dear friend here has been suffering from.
He's in the beginning stages of the pull.
You want to know the smartest course? Get well away from your loved ones.
I was actually hoping for what the others could watch for.
Changes in temperament, snap judgment, seeing things, a fascination with the night sky, hearing whispers of things you should not know, learning things about those around you that should be hidden.
Corvus.
I was not going to bring that up, but I'm glad you caught it instead of me saying it.
There's a sudden sort of bitter barking laugh that comes from his muzzle before he goes, there is a simple cure. You need but die.
I'm one of the ones hoping we may be able to stop it more directly. But not sure if that will bring those back around or...
More directly.
Look over gift. We've been telling everybody, the others, that shall we... talk about it here?
You always talk about things in such a roundabout way, Carrick, that even I don't know what we're talking about.
Morgani.
Oh, you go ahead and talk about Morgani, that's fine.
We have been tasked with taking care of Morgani, either restoring her or removing her by the gods.
Not fitting that they send Baratheons for dragon slaying.
Less because of where we're coming from, I think, and more what we have gone through. We have saved one young goddess.
It is kind of
already.
true, though, that they did pick us because we're a bunch of hellbound heathens, most likely, and that nobody's going to care what happens to us in the end.
I mean...
Shaxon is not a Baratheon.
Yes.
This is true.
Nonetheless, he aligns with you heathens. This is but a trial that we will pass. I still have my faith.
I am actually hoping to restore Morgani so that this ends and hopefully restores everyone.
And I hope to be able to rebuild our homeland into being a place we can be proud of.
We do not want to see Hexenreich fall.
The gods do not appreciate those who sit upon their hands waiting for the gods to solve their problems.
To be fair, the gods don't do that too.
Solve their own
To
problems.
be fair, the gods don't appreciate people who act either.
Yes.
They are not very appreciative.
No, they aren't. But the main thing is we don't want to kill Morgani. If we don't have to, we'd rather save everybody we could, including the goddess of magic and her people. But I look over at Carrick. Any insight you could offer us into the madness would be helpful, but I understand that would probably be a terrible thing to talk about. Where were you when this all happened? I mean, when everything went wild, do you remember anything in the cities going on?
There is a long moment of silence when he's asked that, and his head visibly lowers. I was visiting family.
I'm sorry. I apologize to ask this, but is there any hope that they might...
To answer your other question, I would rather share this with living heathens than those that have cursed me to an unlife. You want to help Morgani?
Yes.
Yes.
You can find her at the Eye. You'll felt the pool.
Yes. Is stronger here than elsewhere. So she's
at the Eye of Morgani, the holy
here.
site.
Nods.
It was on one of our thoughts to investigate.
Yeah. I thank you for that.
Were you drawn to go there?
I wanted to, but I always went elsewhere.
I wonder if she's still trying to protect, even though she can't control it.
I wish I knew what drew her to this madness. I'll be honest, I have greater fears than just Morgani's madness and her fate. I want her to be okay, but if this happens again to another god, does anybody worry about that? I mean, what if this is just the start of a big chain? One after the other, right? Well, our world can't handle that.
If we know a way to stop it once it starts, and it hopefully could stop it.
I mean, that's why I say, what is the cause? That's why I would like to know how it started here in Hexenreich. When did it start? No one really says much other than it really kicked off about a year ago, and we know that from what happened in Barast when the priests over there started going. But this land is her lifeblood. The gods are connected to their lands, body and soul. What happened here? I can tell you from just looking at her lands, the way it's been gifted makes a face.
Is what?
It's so barren and dead and empty when you look at it through the Fae. It's like somebody took a torch and burned away life and joy.
This is but taming the wilderness in the name of progress.
But it's such an intrinsic part to everywhere else. What does that do?
It runs engines and lights. It pushes industry.
Those creations could not have been only the last year, however.
No, they couldn't have been. Like I said, it's so upsetting to see that and then wonder the people of Hexenreich are capable of so many amazing magical things. You don't think they would have tried to tap into their god would they?
It's just such a thing as heresy in itself.
Yes, but if somebody had done such an act of heresy,
And it would
this
likely
not-
be an outsider.
We were seeing Hexenrakers taking the souls of people and putting them in machines.
Is this the propaganda you've come to spread? To make us doubt our own countrymen?
No,
There is
I'm
no
not
propaganda to it.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm just questioning what could have happened. Yes, even if you believe it's somebody from a different soil that did it, can we not be worried about it that somebody could do that?
It's not.
Somebody did that.
It's not possible. You can't just reach out to the Defiant on demand.
Reach out to,
Possibly.
yes.
Possibly not. We have seen things that would surprise what can be and can't be done. But even no matter if that is what it was, no matter who did it, that could be a reason or a cause. I mean, I still don't know. Out of character, actually, because I may have covered this and just blank. Did we ever get a pinpoint-ish date on the disappearance of the eye? Like,
Yes.
We actually had that show up during the some of the talk. Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't too far beyond when we noticed it. I think.
Okay.
It wasn't like it had been gone for a really long time. I think.
Because
you guys are, because I will say this because the characters would be aware of it because they actually know the dates and such. You guys are aware that all of the apparent effects did happen to start around the same time. The eye disappearing, the first reports of madness, and so on. All of the apparent stuff. Whether there is more that went on beforehand,
for that, we don't know.
no.
I mean, the most connection we have is the madness starting when the eye disappeared in the sky.
The eye disappeared in the sky.
Yes, have you...
The eye is still there.
Do you see it?
Of course.
We've been out at night.
Yes.
Type of check do you want me to...
Can I make a check as well? Will it be a backward perception?
I'm going to say it's a complete luck check because you really have to be looking up to perceive, and
it's one of those
don't know if you guys ever would have
said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was checking.
So I'm going to give the group a luck check. If it succeeds, individual members can roll perception as a retroactive. Right. Do you guys want a high or a low?
We're looking up. Ball's rolling up.
Okay, high it is.
That's
Let me get the actual D100. That's a D20. That would not go very high at all.
I thought you were saying you got the D4.
I mean, same effect in the long run.
Okay, that's in the 80 bracket, so we'll count that as high. Go ahead and make retroactive perception checks, please.
I get advantage because of Dingus.
Corvus doesn't need a bother because he's not here. He's and could not see anyway.
I can't see above.
Yeah, I can't see above 60 feet.
120. It's 120.
Right.
Man, I can't believe Corvus can't see past 30 feet.
I am here.
You should get some glasses if he can only see 15 feet.
Sure. I'm gonna... Why is this card not letting me play it? There. I'm gonna do that because I've got so many. I'm going to get advantage, and real quick I'm gonna roll a D20 and see if I get D8 extra hit points.
Okay.
So we're the straight D20. So 10 or higher, so I get 8 temporary hit points. Okay, and bandage.
Are you expecting to come to blows with this dragon?
Well,
no, but I didn't have any other card that I wanted to use on this.
Each and every one of you, the eye is not in the sky, even on Hexmark soil.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah, it has not been in the sky for quite some time.
And he's just giving you a very tired look, as if he's like sick of whatever nonsense you're trying to pour on him.
When is the last time you looked at the sky?
Last night during my prayers.
Since you're
That might be the differential.
Out of character, Sigmund's close by, right?
He's not
Or
within.
is
He's not within hearing distance. He's not eavesdropping.
We could call him over, but he's not listening.
Yes.
Gibson's gonna tant her head to one side. Maybe it's the lack of faith that doesn't allow us to see it.
Or
Looking at Carrick.
I don't have faith in Morgani, so out of character. Not saying that in character because you're not pushing this even worse.
I'm just canting in my head, and maybe you are far more faithful, and you can still see it, but to many, it has disappeared.
Yes.
Perhaps we have been blocked out of it.
Mm-hmm.
My faith is all I have left. I will pass this trial.
You will. I believe in you.
And you do still have more. You are still you.
You need more of me?
Is there anything particular when all of this was going on that stood out to you in your mind as just something? Best way to describe what I am. Could you tell that something was wrong or something like
Yes.
that during it?
Yes, I could tell something was very wrong.
Could you fight it? Like, I'm guessing you tried. You are.
I tried.
You dragon.
Just made it worse. Moments of clarity. I should never have sought them. This is easier. What's better? Just let it sweep you away.
Did you feel bliss in those moments?
I felt divinity. To say it was blissful would be wrong. It was intense. I enjoyed it.
Did it feel like it would burn you? Not like fire, but...
Consume my very being.
Yes.
Felt like I was heading towards that. I wanted it, yearned for it. To be consumed and to escape the pain that remained here. To go somewhere perfect and blissful.
For everything.
No, not blissful. Just
for everything here to end.
Yes. But not an ending. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
A rebirth.
Rebirth.
A new beginning.
Beginning implies that it would. He actually shakes his head and reaches a claw up to it. The sort of motion of clutching. It's not a beginning, and it's not truly an end. It is an ascension to move on to something more. So divorced from this that My mind can't make sense of it anymore. I understood then, and I don't know why I don't understand now. Instead, I am stuck with this non-life where I have to recall all that I've done. This is worse than hell.
I am capable of some divine magic. If it may come to aid you at some point, it would help you as much as I can.
I will pass my trial.
Was that I will pause my trial?
I will pass my trial.
Pass. Pause.
I'm certain that you will, but maybe consider not all trials are what we think they are.
Faye trying to lead me astray. You wonder why we burned your lands.
And yet I still offer kind words.
I'm sure
Those
you
creatures,
do.
aren't we?
I wonder what that kindness would cost me.
Cass is actually speaking up. Friendship. Having to listen to lame jokes.
What might remain of my soul in the eyes of Morgani?
How dare you? They are not lame.
My jokes aren't lame. I mean, it is, as you say, I cannot say that Morgani would find deeper hatred for any involvement you might have with me. But it would be remiss of me not to offer. I bowed my head slightly. I respect your decision regardless. I would not take that from you.
Thank you for your time.
And if we are done?
I believe so.
I believe so.
Unless there's something you wish to ask of us.
Repent.
Turn it around.
For your own sakes. Please. And then they're just going to give you a curt nod, and they're going to turn and start heading in Sigmund's direction.
So it is obvious we should not pursue this line in an attempt to cure the others then, correct?
No.
Oh, I would have not expected that to be a thing anyway. I mean, you literally would be taking somebody's choice away to give them an unending life.
Before we got here, we did not know what cure.
Yes, we didn't know what the cure was before we got here.
I mean,
not the state of someone who came out of it.
We were told the dragon went down and then stood back up and was alive. We didn't know they'd done that to him.
You see the dragon, after sharing some words with Sigmund, continues on their way, where Sigmund actually starts to move back over towards you. I'm guessing that did not go too pleasantly.
I apologize.
Don't.
I believe we may have upset him.
Don't. It is.
He is a man of conviction.
Yes, he is. We are trying to make him comfortable here, but it is a challenge.
It sounds like it.
I do not know if it's comfort for a man like that.
Sigmund, may I ask you an unusual question?
Please.
Talking to him, he still sees the Eye of Morgani in the sky. I do not know if it's due to what he has gone through, his faith, or what. Have you perchance recently looked in the sky and seen or not seen it?
Of course. I mean, he has mentioned it already. We've turned some of our best observation equipment that way and nothing. It might be some delusion remaining, or well, the worrying idea that it is obscured by us by some grand magic, which, considering its owner, not an impossible ask.
Houston gets a strange look on her face, looks over. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be a terrible person, but I kind of want to test some waters.
Those being?
Your general out there, the one that I'm not quite sure on. You could maybe in passing conversation let slip that you still see the Eye of Morgani in the sky. You understand my meaning?
You don't think.
See if it's based on faith.
No, I think that. Well, what if I've heard story that some of the crazy can act quite natural, and if other people might think that, oh, you're one of us too, maybe they would confide. And if he is in fact, or any of his men are, I would like to know.
Testing whether they can detect whether another is of the same mind, and also ensuring that those we may be allying with are of as sound mind as possible.
Yes, because I know not all of them are going to consent to letting Luther look at every single one of them, and I'm not sure. I don't even know what Luther's looking for, or how I'd even discern such a thing, so I can't tell a crazy person from a regular person. I mean, everybody looks crazy to me.
Luther has some trouble with those of ill mind.
I'm just thinking that I look over to
Sigmund?
but Sigmund, my word. I was saying Edmund for a second in my head. I over Sigmund and go, I apologize for talking about such underhanded behavior, but sometimes I feel like that's the best way to find out what's going on, and I have deep concerns about.
Call all you want. Just do not break the laws here.
Oh, that's right. You're the seat of law.
And I am.
Is lying outside the city kind of permissible?
Lying anywhere is permissible as long as it is not in a, well...
perpetuation of breaking the law?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're doing it as a fact-finding mission, just so you know.
But as you are asking, our laws do not extend outside the walls. However, Melinda's wrath does.
I have no interest in anyone's wrath.
No.
I am... well, others may have already thought, but even though he's cured, there is still...
If I might interrupt, you are discussing matters that I don't want to hear about, I will be frank. I just wanted to make sure that you were all okay after your meeting. If you have no need of me, I shall depart.
We're quite all right, and thank you so much, Sigmund, for your time and your counsel. I regret that we don't get to talk more.
I'm
It's all right.
Regretful of that as well, I suppose. I will extend an apology. You will find a lot of stigma from especially us dragons. My father and mother were both chased out of Barast. I have reason to believe that Marlene's were as well.
Carrick's grandmother survived through some of that turbulence time, and
one of the few.
It sometimes slips our minds that the people of there now are not the people of yesterday.
it does kind of.
It is harder to let go of a grudge when you are longer lived and can remember it as if it was real compared to people who read it on book.
And just nods.
Hurt sometimes being talked down to by your own kind.
I can imagine. So, I will apologize for any ill action on my part. I have meant no offense in any hesitation.
You have not treated us unwell that I know of.
Nor have I treated you particularly well.
Again, it is still understandable in some ways.
It is a very trying time, I think, for everyone, and I can understand wanting to keep strangers at an arm's length. There's nothing to apologize for, sir.
Well, I thank you for those words, but my apology stands nonetheless. And he just bows his head.
Yeah, bow my head. And good luck with that one. He seems to have a lot of anger.
He has his convictions.
I will give you transparency. I did offer to use whatever divinity I could to help him, but he writes me off as a fey trickster, and I accept that.
Frankly, I'm not sure he would accept any other offer of help from even us. He... Faithful is a word to describe it.
Fanatic, devout.
Yes.
I think you would only take aid from a pure-blooded Hexenrecker.
I think he would need Morgani's Prime herself to drop down from the sky and bless him and say that he can come back into the light. Which, I mean, we could talk to her, but I don't think this is the time or place.
I actively avoided mentioning about her angels because of that.
Yes, I don't think that is something to bring up. But again, sir, thank you. And I'm going to bow my head.
I bid you a good day.
You also. Thank you, Sigmund.
And Sigmund will depart.
And I will look over at Shaxan and go, would you be comfortable with what I ask, though?
I can give it a try.
You understand my reasoning would be that if he or his men are as crazy as they are, we have to take measures to protect the refugees from them. And I'm not sure how we will do that.
I am concerned about not what the cure was, but that it may not have been as much of a cure as thought with listening to him.
You think it may have dulled it to a whisper, but it's still there?
With how he...
I get the feeling that it is... Coming back from it is not as simple a process.
Also, for somebody who is truly devout, the concept of being brought back alive or in their consideration defiled into a life of unlife, there's a lot of anger there, and there's a lot of clinging to old morals and hope of being found
salvation,
worthy salvation. I think that is what he is looking for.
No echoes now.
And I think also having it done from a nation that is considered by so many to be the enemy has not helped.
Not as much as we seem to be the enemy.
Everyone is the enemy.
No one.
If you are not Hexenreich, you are the enemy.
If you're not Faramir, you are the enemy. It is pretty much how it is.
Well, at least in parts of Faramir, we seem to be helping some of that.
Yes, but I kind of glance around. I expect that when the current troubles are, we would be unwelcome here. At least most of us.
Well, I hope it at least opens some diplomatic sides.
Fetch Echo. She's been sitting in there all by herself with a very excited man on a radio.
Do you mean to save Echo, or do you mean to save him?
Yes.
I might say Wilhelm, yes. Echo has a way of really looking intently at people that I notice makes them scared.
Well then, Let us get Corvus's lover.
Yes, let us go get Corvus's lover.
Speaking of Corvus, we are moving over to the lovely city of Dovewood, where the last couple of hours, Corvus, have been a wonderful, distressing, tearful, joyous affair. As your brother took a lot less suspiciously to the return of his father, after some bewilderment and puzzlement as to him being alive and age. He sort of seemed genuinely happy to see him. And Albrecht was Albrecht. Did not show any great emotion beyond a sort of vague uncomfortableness of suddenly having a man that he did not know be incredibly familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
Not an untypical reaction for a child that is meeting a relative they have never met before.
Yeah.
But Albrecht was polite, and Albrecht soon was at ease. But it was then decided that perhaps it's best if the adults are left alone for a bit to catch up with each other. And so, having finally sort of settled down after the first rounds of rapturous greetings and celebrations and how the fuck did this happens, you find yourself sitting in the sitting room of the Capays without any of the Capays around. Just you, your father, and your brother. And it is, now that all the celebrations passed, awkward as hell. Because no one seems to know what to say to each other. Your father's just sort of like sitting forward in his chair a bit, fiddling with the bottom of his jacket, which is heavily frayed. His clothing has gone through quite a bit of wear and tear. Lewis is a little huddled in his own chair. He's still got a lot of very guarded mannerisms, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. How's everything settling in for you, Lewis?
It's fine. The Capays have been very welcoming, and I just got Albrecht to. It's been a big light,
Yeah. Good to hear.
Your father nods.
It's good that he has someone around.
Something to focus on.
Yeah. I don't want to dower things, but it does have to be said with you, his father, me, and my actions throughout the years, and our father, that Albrecht has been approached by probably a sect of the gentlemen. I don't know how familiar you are with that, besides what I've told you, Lewis, but I just want you all to know that I've made no attempts to try to dissuade him of such actions. I know that they are probably not the best influences out there, but they are ones who ask questions.
Bad news, your father says.
And there is that component.
But if you try and stop a boy from pursuing something without any just cause, he just sort of puts his hands up as like, yep.
So I have no experience with such things, but
how exactly has he been approached?
through letters, communications. He's written theses about divinity, and certain theological individuals have taken notice. I have not met any of these individuals.
Do you have any names?
I have no names. Actually, no. I do have a name. Yeah. Notes. Corvus would recount this. My notes are probably as bad as you use note taking, with a bunch of series of letters and numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you don't have perfect memory, though.
I don't have perfect memory anymore, but this has been a recent thing. It's not been too far. If you want me to do an intelligence check, I'll be happy for that.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not sure.
You can find out from Lady Gentle. You know that.
It's been a trying couple of weeks. Sorry, but he has letters. He has communications with them. There is an ally that you can maybe look into. She goes by Lady Gentle. She used to run the library here, or run the library in Winden before it burned. Shoot, damn it, what's her real name?
What does Corvus remember? I have it right in front of me.
I know you do. I'm just bad with notes. I don't have a notebook anymore, and it's just
Lady Marith Alastair.
Lady Alastair.
I've had communicated with her before.
This is Aldo?
Yep, this is Aldo.
Oh. Wow.
She was one of a couple that actually warned me off.
Kind of the same avenue, but bit late for me. She's helped us, though, finish off some of their things, but they seem to have destroyed themselves within the inside after all their powers went away, or influences.
Oh, are actually still a threat? Lewis asks.
I honestly couldn't tell you. There was a dealing that we did with them a couple weeks back down in the south near Tarnstead, around Sadir. They had agents going to collect a magical rock. Mercenaries, really, more than anything. But they had leverage on them, so they still have tentacles out there doing, just not as prestigious probably as before, which may make them more dangerous.
I shall make sure that my grandson does not fall into ill hands.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of the big thing with the family, I guess, from me, of recent affairs.
You'd think after so long apart we'd all have a lot more to say to each other.
Well, yeah. We've had our own lives, though, for so long that
Lewis chuckles a little, looking up and goes, none of them particularly happy things to share.
No.
Well then, Aldor actually gets up and goes over to one of the sort of large decanters that's in here, pouring 3 drinks, and just comes over, handing one to you, and one to Lewis. She goes, making better memories together from henceforth.
Yes. Well, I'll drink to that.
Lewis just nods and sips at his glass while Aldo actually downs the whole thing.
Aldo understands. The cafe said we could use this room, and
yes.
feel free to make ourselves at home. I'm making myself at home.
On another topic, I don't know if you want this or not, and this is to both of you. I have property down in Beacon that I am doing nothing with. I have a title that I really don't want. There's opportunity at the property. There's some mineral deposits, I believe, from what I was informed of. I'm willing to give that over to any of you.
Will you be there? Aldo asks.
I'll be close by. I live in Beacon.
That is good enough for me.
I don't know how soon I'll be back, given what we're doing.
Lewis sort of scratches his head and goes, I mean, Albrecht has this place being built on an island near here, and I don't really know how that...
That's the Capays took him in, of course.
It might be nice to have a place to stay that isn't a cell away.
Right. The island was gifted to our lake companion, and that in turn went to Albrecht because our lake companion adopted Albrecht. So there's that.
I'll have to ask what he wants to do. I'm not going to pull him away from here if he's comfortable.
But there's opportunities for both of you. There's the island. There's the property north of Beacon. I just don't.
Maybe a decision for when we've had the chance to reacquaint ourselves with our lives.
Right. I don't really have a rudder on that at the moment.
I'm not sure any of us really do. I'll figure it out, though.
I have some of your books.
Oh, you kept some, did you?
Well, some that didn't burn. Some that I managed to collect.
I hope you've kept them well, my boy.
They're in my study.
Haven't been greasing the pages?
No.
The spine's still intact?
The spines are still intact.
Good. And he smiles at you and just gives a sort of little gentle nudge at your arm. Good lad.
There's a couple pseudo dragon bite marks and a couple of somebody tried to eat them when they thought they were going to die.
There may be some minor damage.
It's a little eyebrow raise.
I have a pseudo dragon, and
oh, I see.
There was a time where they ate all their food without rationing it properly, and they may have chewed on some things.
Cannot expect a pseudo dragon to ration.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe that was just Dingus, but it turns out it's the whole family.
Yes. Well, I had a pseudo dragon as a boy as well, and the trouble I got into with my father. They can be destructive little things when they want to be.
Yeah. But she's actually in good hands while I'm away, so she's being well treated. A little kobold on our airship.
Yeah, kobolds are good fortune, so.
Yeah, she's had a rough one too. But I don't know how or when we'll make it down to Beacon, but I would take you on a trip, but my means of trip are not too thrilling.
I still want to see it someday.
Yeah, it'll be there. It's very clean.
It's not Scoopy all over the floor.
You still worry about that?
Well, when I went into being a doctor, yes, because there's these things.
Oh, do not try to excuse it on being a doctor. I remember how distraught you got because you got a little bit of mud on your coat when you were a boy. Oh, remember when you walked through a spider web and it got in your hair?
It's a spider web. I was a kid. It was there may have been a spider as big as my face for all I knew.
You certainly thought there was going to be. I've not seen that level of panic on anybody in quite a long time.
I mean, if a kid wasn't freaking out, then you have a problem. Then you would have to go as some sort of spider worshiper, if that's ever a thing.
Larissa just sort of mumbles, never bothered me.
No. You dropped a hammer on your foot, and you didn't even wince. There is something wrong with you.
He smiles and bows his head as if that's a compliment.
I had to pull an arrowhead out of a boy's foot. You know how much flack I got from that? I was now the foot doctor of Tarnstead.
Well, feet are very important, your father says.
Seemed to fear it wasn't too long after no one could really give a shit about it.
Now, actually, sort of relaxed a little bit. You and your family can sort of settle into, well, being a family. Spending a few more hours of the evening just being together. Rating each other.
Yeah.
Eating, laughing.
At her last.
Few tears. Right. And we shall drift back over to our group who I assume are probably leaving the grounds of the Feywild Park.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And where?
Do we need to get our hand stamped to be able to go back in later? Or?
Yes, unless you spend hours looking for somebody to stamp your hands to no avail, you can never return. Yes, where would we like to go?
Well, we were talking about saving. We don't know which of the two we're saving from the other.
Aren't we supposed to take Eric back to the jewelry store to pick something up?
Well, at the same time you went to pick up your stuff.
And I have to go pick up a gun.
Wait,
okay, so before you
were we going to the stores or are we getting Echo?
Wait, have we slept yet? Because this is still the same day. I thought we were supposed to pick those up.
We're gonna get Echo before we sleep.
Oh no! Weren't we supposed to pick those up the next day?
Yes.
No.
The gun
was said that it would be done tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gun was supposed to be done tonight, though. But I thought Carrick was supposed to come back later the same day, but I couldn't remember. But
no,
I didn't mean for us to go into like full RP mode on those things. I'm just saying that we needed to daughterize.
So I need to know. I just need to know where you're going.
We're just gonna pick up Echo, and then we'll probably resolve any of the shop stuff that we had, and then go to our house.
Well, if you have no specific goals in mind that you actually need to actively pursue, discuss, and so on, you can go and get Echo, who Wilhelm, you think, might actually be teasing her, and she doesn't quite understand how to handle it.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
She like when you enter, she actually just looks at you all with that sort of perplexed look of help.
What the hell is going on?
All right?
I'm doing fine. She's doing fine. I don't understand what he says.
What is he saying?
I don't know. I don't understand it. It was.
What sound is it?
She pauses for a moment, and then she starts to recite limericks.
Oh.
Are they naughty limericks?
Some of them are, yeah. But it's a lot of limericks that are innuendo, like you have to understand the implication of the word, and it seems she doesn't. I don't see why it is funny.
It's funny. It's because
Checks actually give a mildly stirred look and just go, "You're teaching her limericks. I thought you had more class than that."
That's the guy that
Really?
loves stupid puns.
Have you seen the way he sways his hip about? He's definitely not that high class.
Class on an ambassador is a wasted thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at... God, I can't remember his name now.
Echo, sometimes a word can mean two things at the same time.
Inefficient.
If you include multiple languages.
And sometimes they can mean the same thing, but you're trying to hint that they could mean something else. It's slang and stuff like that.
What's a terrible means of communication?
It makes it fun. Because then you're trying to guess what the person's meaning, and that you can be kind of naughty in the things that you're saying.
And sometimes you
So
can...
you treat communication as a game?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Especially when you're a professional communicator like Wilhelm.
I shall try this.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh!
Besides that, was your...
I'm gonna go give Echo a hug. Did you have a nice time?
I had the best time.
Oh, good.
Well, that. I had a very delightful time myself, and she is more than welcome to come spend more time with me again. No, I'm done with that now.
Oh. You're done with that?
Carrick, was that an insight on Echo?
Yes, and I forgot I always have advantage.
You think that maybe that I had a great time was basically just her lying, as if that's how this game works?
So she was trying the game.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's right. That was the more thing I was leaning towards. Is she trying the game, or is she just being done?
All right. Well, we have a few things that we need to pick up at the shops that we were doing, and then we were going to go back and wait at the place that we stay to not be in the way if you want to come with us.
By the way,
trees.
Is it like?
And she smiles.
Or
you're really good at this.
There is a firm nod. It is getting quite late. Yes.
But yep, come along with us then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give a deep curtsy to Wilhelm. Always a pleasure, my lord.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well. I'm going to harass your children for a bit. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, that's fine.
Marvelous. And
probably enjoy it.
You may.
Be wary. They think I'm trapped in a box.
Oh,
I
I know.
think you are as well.
It's really good.
I just don't want them to break the radio.
That's a shame. And he just starts fiddling with the dials.
Jax is just going to put a finger to his chin and go, you have the strong assumption that they have not broken it at least once already.
I was just saying, I'm pretty sure that has happened at least once, judging by his response.
Right. You are
just leaving something like that in that house in general.
able to leave, and on your way back to the apartment, you can pick up things that are awaiting you.
Yep. Okay. Get back to the apartment.
Yeah. And I assume, Corvus, if you're not leaving that night to rejoin everybody, that you'll leave in the morning.
I may leave at night.
Okay, so most people are actually getting sort of settled in when Corvus actually arrives back, escorted by a few guards into the city.
Oh no.
And yeah, if you need your nighttime discussions to discuss revelations or lack thereof, please feel free. Otherwise, I will continue on.
I think we'd at least fill
Corvus in on what you'd learned and
Yeah.
not learned.
Yep.
Was he? He was gone before we went in the Fae,
Yes.
so
Yes.
we'd have to fill him in from the Fae and.
Okay.
Please don't tell him to build a bomb.
Bitter McDragon.
So the party catches you up on what they basically learned and experienced. The morose Fey Lord, the pylons that seem to protect this little patch of Feywild, the utter devastation that seems to have swept the rest of the Feywild as far as Hexenmark is concerned. And then the situation with Marlin and his fervent faith and the Eye of Morgani and all that.
Kirsten wants to go look at the stars tonight.
If people want to go look at the stars, give a double check.
On the note of the Eye of Morgani, given our companion here, Echo, if you were to describe somewhat of a area where this may be, and maybe with her uniqueness, see if that's a possibility that it's there.
Actually, there's something we should talk to Echo about.
What's that?
Echo,
Already?
you remember the big fireman in the armor?
No.
Oh, right.
The one that looked at you and then was really perplexed at what you were and said you could come into town with us?
Oh, he wasn't made of fire.
Luther, but he looks fiery, but he's like a soul or something,
yes.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Give.
Yeah, soul fire. I look over at Corvus. He said that it looks like what you are isn't able to contain you.
Oh, yes.
And he was worried you might not be aware that that's.
Oh no, I can feel it.
Manage. Is that okay?
It should last. The unraveling doesn't hurt.
What happens when you unravel?
You remember me?
Yeah?
As I was?
As the mist?
Yes.
Will you be able to be a person again? Like a body?
Enter something else? Yes.
Okay, so this...
It's not going to end your existence.
It's a temporary part of the cycle. It is fine.
Okay. I just didn't want you to not know about it.
Is it particularly violent? Would it be dangerous to us to be around you when it happened?
I suppose if I snap, yes.
If you snap?
Yes, she sort of interlaces her fingers together and then looses them and goes, if I come apart like this, gentle. Then she puts her fingers back together again and really tightens them against each other. If I come together apart like this, and she finally wrenches her fingers free of each other and her elbows just like slam out to the sides.
So if you naturally come apart because it slowly gives away, not a big deal, but if something were to hurt you,
yes,
and end it early. Okay.
So no sudden jarring.
Please do not shake.
Do not
delicate.
Shake. Do not shake.
So, am I to look at stars?
You want to come look at the stars with us?
She slowly leans over as if to look out one of the windows nearby.
We're gonna go actually outside to see if a certain.
But is this in the common room of this area or in one of the bedrooms?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, you've got your usual Voromir array of folks idling nearby. Your friendly skeleton wizard, who is reading a book as usual, is actually going to perk up and go, oh, we have an observatory.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Are we allowed to go there?
Normally you have to book it, but you're kind of a special case.
Oh, but I don't want to use our privilege. That's wrong.
What's the point of having privilege if you're not going to use it?
How about we check whether others have it booked, and if so, ask them if they would mind us joining, and if not, then we will use our privilege.
That is.
That sounds like just doing it regardless.
He's already standing up, snapping his book closed, and you hear him yelling out to the Rafe Guard captain that, "Oh, we're going to the observatory now."
I do like the idea of slapping the book closed.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Yuli, since we did the go collect stuff, I got the gun and it's +1. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Are you planning to shoot somebody at the observatory?
Shoot Echo.
I mean, we've already been attacked once by shadows.
Yes, it is good caution.
Fire at the sky at the observatory.
We're gonna fire at the stars.
Use the astronomy scope as a scope attachment for your rifle.
Okay.
To shoot the first dragon.
Yes. Even with hesitancies of not wanting to intrude, it seems your maid friend is sort of.
Nope, we're doing it now.
Taking
apparently.
that out of your hands and has gotten the guards ready to move on out. And soon enough, you find yourselves on your way. And you're actually leaving the Bay City streets here. You are heading upwards along a lot of these arches and towers that are sort of composed from his scaling height.
Is there anything you can tell us about this observatory?
It's used to observe things.
First off,
yes.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Would we have any idea what an observatory actually is?
I would let people make a straight intelligence check.
I choose not to know.
Uh-huh.
I choose to
All things
argue
considered, I'm pretty fucking sure I do.
Yeah, I think Saxon would, but the people not of Hexenreich.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I will argue that
What I appreciate
it's
is the bar boy. The bar boy.
I've read a lot of books over the last year.
I feel like that should have been disadvantaged.
See, I'm honestly just going with context should be enough to get some idea of what it is.
Shaxton, I'm willing to say that you know what they are. If you want to know how they actually work, because it's really not the field you were in, I'd ask you to roll.
Oh, I'm willing to say that he doesn't actively know how they work, but he is aware of what it.
Why do we go someplace to go look at the sky? It's right there. I say,
there was a really grand observatory in the Tulian Empire.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, even though I rolled good, I only know what an observatory is.
You know what an observatory is, yeah.
How they work.
I went the opposite way. I did a lot of microscope work.
Corvus, you're pretty sure that was the room that you stood over watching medical procedures being done when you were a student?
Yeah, it's an observatory. It's a theater, yeah.
But I don't understand.
I do recall.
Right there. Why are we going to a building? Because if you're inside, you can't look outside very good.
I think I'm very
can be
confused
used
of what
for
the
quite an
observatory
event.
actually is describing. Yeah.
It's like a spyglass, but a big one.
A spyglass?
Look at the star, not at a dissection of
Do you have like a spyglass and then you can see Oberon putting the stars in the sky better?
Perhaps
dear me.
are more primitive than I remembered.
I'm just gonna look over and go.
Literally, this is what I have been fed. This is what came from me.
The skeleton mage is going to come over to you, Gifton, and it's very gently, educating a child, is going to start explaining to you stellar phenomena as.
How do you get a ladder that high?
No. See, the gods don't need a ladder. They can simply, pierce the veil, poking little holes in the night sky, so that light might shine through. It is said that it is the light of the heavens by some.
Works a bit differently than this.
Do they do it again every night, or
No, one and done. And yes, there are plenty of theories. He sort of waves his hand dismissively at Telday, but it's clearly the work of the Divine. It's Divine light.
But then how do you see, why don't we see stars during the day?
Oh. There's in the look of a man who, knows way less than he is putting on in explaining it.
Do you see one?
Oh.
You see, I've seen Oberon go up and put the stars up and down in the Feywild, so I assume that somebody's doing that with a ladder here.
The Feywild
It's just the Truman Show.
has the full stellar cosmos.
We do also know about the eye and how that got up there or was up there.
It does make me wonder if your belief was that Oberon was not putting it up there intentionally.
I mean, I kind of thought that maybe Morgani told him not to put it up anymore.
I stole it from him. No, it's
did
nonsense.
not ask him.
Oh. Maybe she took the box of stars so he didn't have them to hang anymore.
Corvus looks at Elko.
I don't know what the
Echo
is.
Echo looks at you.
How is she taking this rooted conversation?
Rather impassively. Like, it seems to be watching over her.
She's kind of learned we have no idea what we're talking about.
He just kind of nods in understanding.
If I ever got the opportunity, I'd love to take you for a nighttime in the Feywild and you could see Lord Oberon go put the stars up. It's quite great.
How would you...
No, the Feywild is a really depressing place.
No, it's not. It's really great. There's lots of music and dancing and singing.
It would be a different Feywild from the one that you are used to.
Morris seems to have a very sad
time. Oh, you met Morris?
He's very lonely. Yeah, he's very lonely.
It's strange fellow.
Yeah, he's very lonely. Did they ever invite him out?
I don't know. I mean, I've not.
That might have been something to ask.
The Fey are supposed to be in the Feywild, you know? It's a place of power and they can do anything. I mean, why would you want to come out?
I mean, he's all alone. Usually in the Feywild, there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of other Fey that you run into.
He supports, doesn't he?
They're not waking up anymore.
Awfully rude.
Because they're sad. I think, it's like, you ever see, like, when somebody puts a dog in a box and the dog doesn't get to go out anymore?
No.
I mean,
Never had a dog. Always wanted one as a boy.
Why would someone put a dog in a box?
Because they're bad about dogs.
They're bad with dogs. There was that one farmer that had a dog and he used it for alarms and he had it in a box. And at first it was really, really excited and it would run around a lot in the box. But then after a year or two, it just kind of laid in the box and it didn't do anything anymore. And then he got a different dog.
Well, that's a delightful story. Behold, the observatory is ahead.
I feel like that's what you've done with your Fae.
I haven't done anything with...
I was going to say, I don't think it was Furmir that did that.
Well, I'm saying, like waving, the continent's done that to the Fae here. They're just in a box.
Are you calling the Fae pets?
I mean, we do like treats, and we will perform tricks.
Dingus is like nodding at you for pets.
On the head and go, yes, honey, thank you. All right.
Yeah, Dingus is nudging at you for pets, Gifton.
Huh?
Dingus is nudging at you for pets.
I give Dingus pets.
I mean, in some ways, the same could be said of Furmir and the rest of Frank, too.
That's why I don't like going outside.
With what's outside right now, I can definitely understand that.
Yes. Are they wielding pitchforks yet?
What?
Are they wielding pitchforks?
The mob outside.
Oh, you mean the refugees?
Sorry, bad taste, I imagine.
Oh, I actually thought you were referring to.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty sure if they figure out I'm Fae, they're going to be doing the same thing to me.
This is rather uncommon to see large groups of, alive folk outside, and it not to be a
mob.
Angry. Yes.
I will say, I think they're a bit deluded because they keep thinking that this is all a big lure, that you guys aren't actually trying to help them, and that they're going to betray him at any moment. And I'm like, this is a lot of effort. If you were really out to get them, they'd be dead already.
He just nods. It's really simple.
I mean, just stop helping them, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't even take effort.
No. Just don't open the gates and don't send food out. And done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they're very foolish.
Unfortunately, how these people see it.
Well, on a happier note, behold, and he's going to gesture at the observatory that you are actually coming up to, and this is one of the highest points here in Faerumia. In fact, some legs might be hurting, having to climb so many stairs. Bit
so
winded.
now I have a Charlie horse.
What is a Charlie horse?
No, how did you even understand what that even? Okay.
I don't understand. That's why I'm asking.
No,
he's than we have.
What's a Charlie?
I have been around quite some time.
It's a kind of slang I don't understand.
Oh, more slang, Echo says, with a little annoyance in her voice.
And also, I spent quite a bit of time in a fleshy form, not dissimilar from yours.
Yes.
Slightly wider, but only slightly.
You did that as well?
Yes. Have you?
I am, right now.
How does that go?
Did yours unravel?
The skeletal mage, right?
Sorry.
Kind of like how I use my ring Echo, where I changed what I look like. He did that too, so he had fleshies.
Ah.
Yeah, fleshies.
Just got me.
What was your construct of flesh like?
Oh, it was large and it had a shell.
Get a hard outer
quite
shell.
Interesting.
You also have a shell right now.
I'm just going to.
Yes, it was not dissimilar.
Minor illusion, a small version of Torte.
That is not large.
It was more eating.
This is a smaller version of it. It's less energy to create the small one than to create a full, proper size one. But it looked like.
You're all very bad at beholding the majesty of the observatory, aren't you? Look! Look at the observatory!
Very easily. I apologize. This
It's
is
a grand construct. It's a wonder of engineering and magic.
It is.
Yes, it is very nice. It is certainly.
What is the observatory made of?
The observatory is made of mostly. It looks like steel. There's woodwork that looks like it's simply decorative on the outside. Just paneling. Strangely enough, it seems very untouched by any weather, which up here that's unlikely. So you assume magical enchantment on it. And there is a shockingly great big fucking telescope jutting out of this strange dome roof.
Ethan is gonna squint. Is that a really big spyglass?
Yes.
What they were saying.
That is essentially what the observatory is.
Oh, I just had a really fun idea I shouldn't do.
Which would be?
Oh, I was thinking I should take my ring off, go turn my halo on, and go stand in front of the lens.
No.
That seems like a bad idea.
I'll be honest.
I can make it look like a star's coming right for the lens.
The skeleton mage is nodding while the Wraith God's going, man, please don't do that. You'll cause a panic.
I was just saying that might cause a panic, or if they notice it looks like an angel, it might just be defend the lands.
Well, it seems nobody's using it right now.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
If it were deployed, you'd see all manner of floating prism around it.
Prism?
Intriguing.
It uses magical prisms to focus the light, ambient light in the area.
Go to jail.
No. Prisms, not prison.
Not and it's an
Squint.
N.
Not sure if this is actually a different word.
Do you not educate people in your country? And Skeleton's actually looking at the rest of you now as if, like, you're guilty of this?
They do not standardly educate Fae, and we have been otherwise engaged that we do not take time to school her.
The brownies particularly tend to be a little isolationistic.
And it doesn't help that the three of us from Tarnstead kind of grew up in the area with that was a little out of.
Skeleton Mage is reaching out to your arm, Gifton.
I got a book in my hand. I'm learning.
You know the thing of holding a hand and then patting the forearm, the very sort of old man gesture of like there. He's doing that to you. He's like, I have some books that you can borrow, and we'll get your education up to snuff in no time.
Is the book she have one of her romance novels?
Well, I got my leadership book with me. I'm learning words, and I've got 2 books on me at all times. One's the Hexenreich to Baratheon, and the other one's my leadership book.
Marvelous.
So,
I have to see how good you are with your spellings, and yes, we'll get there.
I write reports sometimes.
That's grand.
The first 2 books he's going to lend her is going to be The Hungry Caterpillar and there's a monster at the end of this book.
Okay, men, just span out. Just make sure the area is secure while there. The Red Guard captain just shakes his head and sort of moves away to do as he said.
I hope we are not causing too much of a disturbance.
You're not disturbing anybody. Look, nobody here. And
so the premise
gesturing to the people spreading out.
The Red Guard captain just gives you a sort of look of like, this is very strange, but what else am I going to be doing?
They were literally hanging out in our house right now, so yeah.
Okay, at least they get together and stretch their legs, even if you're perplexing.
I'm guessing that you could align this to the Eye of Morgani then?
Yes.
Wait, do you have to have a big enough eye to use the spyglass?
No. Okay, let's get her inside so she can see this. And he's going to open it up and lead you all in.
We do know of Corvus's distance limitations, right?
Yes, you do.
Yep.
That's why this
is strangely enough, can actually see the sky.
Yeah, this will be a lovely event for Corvus because this is mirrors capturing light and reflecting it, so you can't see mirror surfaces.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that to be mentioned.
I was waiting to see what kind of telescope it was. If it was a refractor or a reflector.
Corvus doesn't appreciate anything about this trip tonight.
Yep. He leads you in, and there's more than just the central telescope in here. There's actually a few smaller models that are in here that look like they can just be moved outside. And you did notice the area around the telescope itself was both really unlit and just wide open, like there was just paved cobblestone, rather smooth.
Do you think sometimes you can see angels fly by?
They're usually in full gift.
There have been attempts to try and capture them because it's believed they do fly. It might seem instantaneous, but there is really movement. So you can see by the way they disturb things when they arrive. And
yeah, I've flown with my brothers, and they actually fly. They actually go very fast.
Fastest creatures known.
Mm-hmm. I'm not as fast as them.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll get there.
No, probably not.
That sounds definitely like a head pat.
Right, let's show you how to operate this so we don't break it. In fact, perhaps it's best if I operate it and you just, looky. Eye of Morgani, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes, well, I know how to find that. I've got a book for that if you ever want to learn. And he's just going to move up to the great big apparatus.
Cassie's making a library in Beacon so that we can all get more educated.
That's a grand aspiration to have.
Actually, the library is built. I've been stalking it.
No, but I'm saying you're making it full of books, because you can have a building, but until it's full of books, it's not really a library.
It's just a large bookshelf, really, until it's
Well,
it's a large shelved room, really, isn't it?
Well, eventually it will be full. It takes time to get books.
Not a library until you're issuing cards.
I'm sorry I was not able to collect books for you.
I don't have mine anymore, and mine got blown up.
So did the hotel. So did the library they went to.
He's fiddling with dials. There's actually really loud sounds as the roof rotates a bit.
Oh, that's disconcerting.
Don't worry, it's magical levitation. It's just funny, the roof isn't actually in contact with the rest of the building. It's only by a few millimeters, but there's a gap. Let it rotate smoothly, if loudly. Yes, but
Then where does the sound come from if it doesn't grind against anything?
you know nothing about magical excitation, boy. That's my
He just gives
education.
a stern look.
Corvus is an anti-magic person. He doesn't like or believe in magic.
He actually like stands up from like fiddling with the telescope and just like stares ahead for a moment.
He's the most right person I know.
That's the daftest thing I've ever heard.
He gets quite angry if you heal him with magic as well.
He seems to be getting better.
Accept that magic is a thing.
Do
I
you
just don't
dislike the
appreciate
air?
what he does.
He seems to think that healing with magic is worse.
It is a natural force. Do you not like walking on the ground? Does dirt disturb you?
Yes.
It's very wow. Well then,
Can we move on to
this
the topic?
if he starts refusing to drink water, you should start worrying.
I question what he does.
I believe he has at some point.
Young people these days.
Him drink water.
Protecting the natural laws. Don't like the natural laws. Can't have the natural laws. They don't apply to me. He says as he's like, continuing to fine tune. Okay, left.
To be honest,
What are the natural laws?
Oh, I've got a book for that as well. But basically, the natural laws are the principles that govern our world. How the water flows, how the air vitalizes us.
Oh, like how you get the spirits of the fire out of the wood to make the burning?
Oh, that's so cute.
On those topics, I agree with you.
Yeah, of course.
You
everybody
agree with
knows that the
Gifton?
spirits of the fire come out of the wood.
The wizard man and the natural laws.
Oh.
He has a name.
I don't know the name.
It's Marvin.
Marvin, thank you.
I was actually going to say, is this still our guard or is this someone working at the observatory?
No, this is the skeleton guard, Marvin.
Okay, yeah, I kind of lost track.
He's a skeleton air quote guard.
He's a wizard guard.
Yeah, basically.
He's a whiz guard.
No.
Yeah, maybe.
Eventually he goes, aha, got it. Okay, you, and he's gesturing you, Gifton, and just like wiggling his finger. Come on.
Okay. I'm gonna wiggle my fingers.
No, come over here. And he actually moves over, places his hands on your shoulders, and like guides you. Right, so you're going to. Are you? What eye do you favor?
I like them both.
Okay, well you can only use one.
Okay.
When you shoot your bow,
the right one.
Okay.
Which eye?
Right, so you're going to look into this. Like you can put your eye right up against this metal piece here.
Okay.
And
cold. Ow, my eye.
No, don't put your eye itself on it. Like the surrounding. Oh, good.
Ow.
Morgani. Yep. So.
Cold.
Look through it.
Hmm.
Might be a little blurry. So just here, give me your hand. You're going to twist this until it all comes into clarity.
Okay.
Okay. You twist, and Gifton, you see a freaking black spot of nothing. Great,
Aww.
isn't it?
Ow. It's okay, Morgani. I know it's still there. I'm gonna
Marvin,
back.
Wait,
Marvin,
he can see it.
You see the eye there.
Spot for it.
No, I see where it is supposed to be.
Okay.
You do realize you can find places by their surroundings, yes?
Not that. We've had a
different
reason
concerns.
we were checking was
we ran into somebody that claims they still see it in the sky.
Yeah.
That's why we're looking.
Well, I mean, this is fascinating enough, is it not? I mean, celestial bodies don't just up and vanish like that. You see the occasional one go away every now and then, but
how does it?
How
Why is it black? Why can't I see any stars?
Oh, I suppose it depends who you ask. If you go with the the black cloth theory, then the holes have simply been patched up. Maybe Morgani decided, well, that's enough of that then. The motes of light, well, then I suppose the lights were just snuffed out somehow.
Corvus is going to take Carrick off to the side, real quick. What if it's being covered up by something like a arriving dragon of some sort, and it's obscuring it because of its travel to us.
Then why would they see it?
I don't know.
I will remind you, Marcus, that the fucking physical was a bright fucking glow of death.
Right. Is that visible?
No,
in the sky.
You don't see it there. But if you want to try and look for it.
No.
May I look through it, Marvin?
Please, if she's done.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm done. I was just going to look around a little bit. Are there other constellations we can look at?
Oh, yeah, well, if they're using that one, do you want to use one of the smaller telescopes?
Yeah, can I use one of the small telescopes
yes, of
and
course.
just look around?
You all have fun with that. I'll take her out and set this up.
I just wanted to see and make sure I don't see it. Carrick's gonna actually look through the telescope.
Okay, you don't see the Eye of Morgana, Carrick.
This is really just a sanity check for some people.
This was a sanity check for Carrick, because Carrick was getting concerned after being told that someone could.
Gifton, you're basically giving the kids' first crash course on the constellations. You see the Great Hunt up there. The cowbell. All manner of things.
So do they call the big
procession
the plow like some other places? Some places.
Yeah, totally.
The plow.
And he will say, tell you how you actually find them from common points and so on. And
Gifton's actually kind of excited. She likes learning things, so this is fun. And the best part is I'm tool proficient, so this is probably a tool, and I'm proficient with it once I get going.
And everyone else, you can take a turn on the big telescope if you want. Anyone that does, none of you see the Eye of Morgana.
And Echo.
Echo. You want Echo to go take a look?
Yeah.
Yes.
Echo will go look into it and go, that's novel.
Novel in what way?
Oh, that you can make it appear so close.
Do you...
Wait, do you see substance there?
Yes.
Not darkness, a void.
Oh, I see that as well.
But you see the lights also.
Yes.
Do you have any idea why we might not?
A few.
I have a feeling these are talks we should not have in public, possibly.
She slowly frowns and looks around and goes, I'd like someone to define what public is.
When we're back in the rooms, might be prudent. Just
in open spaces where eavesdropping can be easily done.
Can Gifton just start wildly looking around for anything interesting with the telescope?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a perception check.
Try to find Morris putting the stars up there.
I'm gonna burn a card because it's fun.
No, it's Oberon every time. It's his job.
He can't reach here.
You see Oberon up there and he just waves.
That one.
It's the same night sky.
All right, what skill do I use? Perception?
Perception.
Okay. Perception.
I mean, I'll be honest, in the Feywild probably isn't.
Actually, I'm gonna roll real quick. One sec. Let me see what I am.
Out of
I'm
faint
positive.
curiosity, what everyone's done,
All right,
Orvis will go to the telescope as well.
21.
Okay. Gifton, you see some bright stars that don't seem to be any part of any constellations that he's told you about, but it'll tell you the little names and such. Some of them are named after archangels and so on. There's actually a sort of faint reddish star that's rather low down in the sky that is named after Raziel.
Why is that one red and low?
Oh, it's representative of Decay 4.
Oh.
Gods must have changed its colour to show that it's disfavoured.
Was it a different color before?
Oh, it's been red as long as our history shows.
Oh, prophecy.
I mean, technically he was always a fallen angel, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, for as long as we've been alive, for the
gods are stupid like that. Mutter, mutter, mutter.
And don't say that in an open field when it's storming.
I will.
Oh, I'm sure.
To be fair, I wouldn't put
young
it
and
past to say them to their face.
Yes.
Echo was going to relinquish the big telescope. And go, okay, so this room where only we are in is not a private place. It is a public place. What makes the other rooms different?
Well, actually, at this point, it's only us. So
yeah, it's only.
Yep, the Wraith Gods are outside, Skeleton Gods outside.
I'm outside.
Well, technically now it is private, but it's still a public area, so people can.
An area is transformed by those that are in it.
Yes. And Corvus, out of vague curiosity, is just going to go to the telescope, lean down, look.
There's an eye looking at you, Corvus.
Oh, he's looking at the big end of the telescope.
I mean, you're used to seeing, eyes in weird corners and such, so no surprise. It's a little startling.
He stands up quickly, blinks, and then looks back.
It's gone now.
All right.
Quite a sight, is it not?
Oh, he was looking to the actual end. Okay, I thought he was looking to the wrong end. I'm just going to ask how he
that'd be a lot of climbing.
Hey, I've got climb speed.
So am I to tell you what I think, or is this still public?
It's a good. I guess it's as good.
It's good enough, I guess.
Can let give to know. What do you think might be reasons for us not being able to see it, and you can?
Well, I mean, I see a lot more. I don't think you can really hide the outside from me.
I guess maybe we should modify this in the fact that we know of at least one other who can also still see it. That is like us, except for was the one that was cured of their madness. Any idea of why they would still be able to see it?
Well, in that case, I think the real assumption would be Morgani wants to let them. In which case, that is probably a masking magic of great effect. It's just not good enough.
Maybe.
So why would she want to?
Whatever's doing this is.
But wasn't the covering of this spurred a lot of this fanaticism?
Well, if she wants to protect her children, that one there is the tether for the physical, and she's just like pointing directly up into the skylight, and it's fucking impossible to see what she's pointing at. Magical.
Wow.
Mind. Yes, they're all tethered through there.
And by hiding that the stars are still up there, it hides the connection that can be used.
Yes, although I don't understand what she's hiding it from. I don't think any of you can reach up there.
No, but we might be able to interfere, and we might be able to interfere in that tether.
I wonder if that fair works in the gods. I suppose she is the most magic of magic.
That
she had. The gods did mention that the eye was gone.
So
she's hiding it even from the gods. And
the question is that part of the madness taking her that she hid it, or was that done prior?
Out of character, can I give you guys my input real quick?
Sure.
Maybe you're approaching it from the wrong perspective. Maybe it's not that she's trying to hide the eye from people that would damage it. Maybe she's trying to protect the world from its influence. And that the people that are closest to her and tied to her, she can't
have the affliction.
They can't be protected from it, so they see it, but she's covering it so everyone else in the world doesn't. That would be the reverse that I would think. But that's me out of character.
Both our ideas out of character. We unfortunately, until we know the reason behind the when and exactly why, we wouldn't be able to even fathom which side. But Okay, so
the fanaticism started around the time the eye disappeared. Right?
that we know of, yes.
So was the hiding of the eye the reason for the fanaticism? Or we know, or you found out, that those who had that affliction could see it still, the dragon.
Unfortunately, we just have the one.
The one.
And even though I have been afflicted by the beginning of it, I cannot see it.
You weren't engrossed within it.
Echo has picked up 2 telescopes and is trying to use them as binoculars.
Are these how big are these? Because I'm kind of
there are various sizes in here. There are some actual large scale ones. There are some basically really basic, starter.
And
are these just over spyglass type ones?
Yes.
Or are these large?
Yeah.
Spotting scopes.
I'm just imagining 6-foot ones. Just
technology excites Echo.
They make smaller ones that fold up called spyglasses. Too. Echo.
When you see this far, it's like almost going home.
Suddenly had the brain thing. Do I have one?
Don't we have one? I think someone has one.
We have a spyglass, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember who.
We don't have a telescope, though.
I mean, the spyglass is just a really strong telescope. Is just a strong spyglass.
I know, but it's still stronger than a spyglass.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Gifton's outside crooning away as she looks at the stars. She likes to sing.
Well,
shining bright above me.
And
night breezes seem to whisper you love.
So
some answers to questions, but also more questions.
Yeah.
But we have some more information at least.
And I'm not familiar with what's all affected her, but your wife, has she had any? I know her father had issue with it,
and her mother.
But has she made notion of any of this?
She has not had anything since my grandmother's protection has been placed on her.
Right. Okay.
And I, as much as need to protect myself, I am not going to take that off of her.
Yeah. No. That's fair.
I do have the curiosity that I have never asked grandmother if she
can see it. Yeah.
That may be a...
But from what you've expressed, she's not really one that's too keen on Morgani.
No, but she is also a force unto herself, and there may be... I do not understand the entire reasoning behind how she...
The subconscious resistance to it.
And everything, so she may have some other thing going on, so she may... next time in a place where I can contact her, I should... Not to mention, I'm pretty sure she is probably concerned about where I am since they had contacted her. She probably is pretty sure of where I am.
Oh, look, shooting star.
Oh, wow.
The beds in the side of the observatory.
Oh, it's probably too fast for me to look at it with this, huh?
Oh, yes, unfortunately. It's got to be really...
I can try, though.
Yes.
What else? I'm sorry.
Alright, let me see if I can adjust it.
What else?
Since we're up there, I'm going to kind of look around and see, is there more than just telescopes up here?
Yes. There's a whole fuckload of books. There's writing desks. There's actually some fairly sophisticated looking crystalline computers.
Just being in the job I work out of character, is there star charts hanging up?
There are indeed.
Because I know of a couple other Morgani constellations.
If you want to try and locate them on the star charts, and let's use that to find them with a telescope. Is that what you wanted?
I'm gonna look for them and find them before I go find Marvin and find out, because this is not my telescope. I am not going to do it without being.
Wait, if it's a shooting star, does that mean that there's like a tear in the fabric?
Maybe it's the zipper.
A zipper. I'm gonna try and find the zipper.
A big zipper.
Can I get the telescope on the shooting star? Is it already gone?
Oh, it's way gone.
It's a zip one. It's not.
Do not look.
It's not a comet, Gifton.
Maybe that's an angel going by really fast.
Oh, that could be. You think they're going to the celestial sphere to travel?
Yeah, it might go up real high.
It's not a bad idea.
Sometimes it feels a little chilly, like when you fly up high.
I've never done it myself.
Oh, you never flew up high?
With an angel either.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to sometime, maybe I can ask my brother to take you.
I'll pass on that.
I'm just gonna suddenly become these like you all are fine to come around.
Carrick comes out to Gifton and Marvin.
I saw a star go by really fast. Me and Marvin saw it. It's a zipper.
It's a zipper. Okay. Marvin?
Yes?
I came down to find out I didn't want to adjust the telescope without permission. I was going to try to check the wing. Was it the wings and the breath I think I've heard of?
Yes, the wings and the breath are the ones you've heard of.
The wings and breath of Morgani, just as curious.
That's not a hard adjustment. In fact, I think it might actually be one of the auto settings. Let's go. You want to come with us, dear, or are you having fun with the telescope?
I'm having fun with the telescope.
Okay.
Yeah, fun.
Right. He'll head back in with you, Carrick, and he will adjust the telescope for you to.
Playing around with the machinery that isn't as expensive and breakable.
And he's actually just adjusting dials, looking at one of the charts, and just going, "Okay, that should be it. Was giving me a check, please."
I'm gonna take a peek.
Okay. Would you rather the breath or the wings first?
The wings first.
Okay. You look through to check the rings, and yeah, there's the constellation. Although you think you see one of those shooting stars Gifton was talking about.
No, it's one of those. What do you call them? Zippers. Oh, there's one of those.
Lucky. Don't have to get to catch those in the telescope. Go by fast.
I'm guessing yes.
No. It's still moving.
Is it still there? No, I still can see it.
Hang on, it's going to come over to you and nudge you aside.
Real quick, before he nudges me aside, I'm going to ask the GM. How does it look like it's moving?
It's like it's beating its wings.
It's a little hard to tell. It's flickering, but it is moving at a slight angle, but it feels like it's like towards you.
Okay, and when he goes to move me aside, I will move. It almost looks like it's coming
towards us. It's perplexing. 1 second, and
Marvin's gonna.
This might be a cause to be concerned, Carrick. Marvin's actually moving to basically he pulls a couple of levers, and you see an actual magical bank of energy power up on the telescope, and a couple of different colored like flat crystals come in down the front of the lens.
Enhance.
Yep. Take another look.
Like this, I have a funny feeling this might be a concern.
Look, tell me if you need more enhancement.
I'm gonna look through it.
Carrick, it's still not entirely resolute, but there is a distinct sort of up and down motion.
I have flown as a dragon, and I'm guessing this is similar to a
not entirely, but
okay,
yeah.
Well, it's moving up and down. If it could be more.
Celestial bodies do not move up and down, and there's a couple of other yanks on levers, and while you're still looking for it, and there is a full it's like disorientating zoom, and yeah, again, it's still not perfectly formed, but you are able to make out the shape, at the very least, of a familiar sky buddy.
Well,
That looks like it might be the physical.
We have found someone coming down to say hi.
That's not good for Marvin to hear. Poor Marvin.
Marvin
should probably go look now.
What do you mean?
Let Marvin look.
I will let you see for yourself. It is easier than.
He's going to look through it. And he sort of lingers on it for a long while before standing up and going, "Excuse me, I must
that is
go make a report."
Yes, that is something we will be dealing with.
Yes,
I believe.
Are we going to have a visit from one of the council members soon?
I have a feeling, yes. It may be more than one.
Hey,
Did none of you
hello, dear.
Another constellation.
Oh, how wonderful! And he's like going down steps, like holding his robes up.
Like as he's doing, like that's nice. Bye.
Is your ship over? Bye, Marvin.
Question to you all: did you not express the whole situation with them?
With the council, yes.
The council, yes.
The council, not every single person we have encountered.
Right. I'm aware that Marvin may not be part of the loop, but you did already express.
I mean, the fact that this is actual living, breathing proof.
Being able to actually see
out of character,
the dragon is something different. However,
I'm going to call down. Actually, I'm going to hop down.
No idea what Chrono said.
Gifton, you may want to come up and. You're one of the others that has directly seen it.
What?
I think we found the physical.
I found. Oh.
Shex will be taking a look through the thing as he's talking about that.
That's why Marvin.
Yeah, that looks pretty dragony, Shex.
It looks like the wing.
I'm gonna come in and I'll take a look and I go, "Hi, physical."
Physical waves at you.
Really disconcerting. Disturbing, yeah.
Hello.
So,
kill you soon.
Well, that's definitive proof for the masses, so to speak.
Well, I mean, they might still decide it's something else, but
we know what it is. But
we
also, what it is.
That means that they can track it, though. Oh, maybe they can figure out how long we have. Oh wait, we know how long we have. Never mind. Oh, we need to get back to Barast.
There's a lot.
Sure.
Of that as well. What about the Hexenreich afflicted military group that's coming this way? I mean,
we don't know when they're coming. I mean, all we can do is give them as best they can for defenses. We don't know when or how often they're going to get struck. I mean, if it's going to be one big force, if it's going to be lots of little forces. We don't know anything about what happens here, but we know Dulvewood's in trouble.
Do we?
Well, I pat my bag and I say, or wherever I'm at with this, but I shouldn't. It would be.
We know it's landing sometime.
We need to
one of the Wraith Guards is wandering in.
Hi.
Yes.
Greetings.
Hey, and they give it an idle wave to you, and they're just putting like their sword and such down on a table as they come in, and they're actually picking up some wreaths of paper.
Are you all right?
I'm an astronomer.
Oh, come here and look at this.
Yeah, I
think that's why he's here.
Oh. It's the first dragon, the physical.
Yeah. there's a sort of like, oh god, don't say that. They start to look through the telescope, and they're taking their time. You see it. They are writing things down on this parchment, and they're not hiding it from anybody. So if anyone wants to just glance at it,
yep,
that's some hella complicated numbers that they're writing down.
Is it all numbers, or is it numbers?
It's formula.
Okay.
Are you determining distance and speed?
Trajectory, yes.
That would be actually very
That'll
good.
probably change.
Well, speed, I don't know.
Speed, maybe not. Trajectory, yes.
Shoot. Is it all right if I use a tree outside real quick?
They sort of wave their hand as if like.
Could you please keep track of its trajectory? I want to know if it changes.
I'm going to.
She will be traveling.
I'm going to trying to change its trajectory actively. If you could watch, sir.
Okay. But whatever you're going to do, give it some time. These are going to be minute changes at this distance, I think.
All right. I'm gonna walk outside to the other Wraith Guard.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? Okay.
No, Gifton, what I was saying is, why don't you use the tree, travel home, and stay there overnight?
That's what I said. I'll stay there till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye. Message me. I got sending stones for some of you. I'm going to take a ring out of my pocket because I got a bunch of those. I got 2 sets of the sending rings, and I'm going to offer it to one to Carrick and go, can you give this to Valda for me?
Yes, I will give that to Valda for you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Gifton.
See you tomorrow.
I will go tree travel.
The guard grunts.
I'm gonna go change the trajectory of this thing's path. Fuck! I've got to give Dingus 12 fucking eggs. Going back to grass. Shit.
Yeah.
Eggs.
As you're heading towards the tree, Dingus's neck is wiggling back and forth in celebration.
Go elsewhere.
As I'm doing so, I'm go
to Zaha instead. Go visit Heya.
No, I'm not gonna do that to her. She's busy. I'll go tree travel to my house.
Okay, right.
Eat up a spell slot.
So unless people are doing anything pressing, because frankly there isn't a whole lot to do about this situation. It's just a man observing it right now.
We're observing the man observing.
Do you want to stay up and around here, or are you going to go home to bed? Because I think it's understandable if you're feeling tense.
We stay.
You don't know.
Okay. I'm going to head back to the quarters if anyone wants to join. Echo, you if you want to come along, or if you want to stay up here, that's perfectly fine.
Lover.
I'll come with you. Would you like some alone time then?
Yes.
Actually, yes.
They can be in the room together even if we're all back there.
And grab a couple of the guards on your way out.
How loud they may be.
There are multiple rooms.
Okay, so Corvus and Echo depart. A couple of the Wraith Guards splitting off to join them. Everyone else just staying here for the night?
I'm gonna look at checks and planning on staying.
There's not much we can do here, in all honesty.
And that is the thought.
I will have told a gargoyle on the way out that I was teleporting.
Yeah.
I would have done that. I would have done the appropriate things.
If you want to go get some rest, I don't think we're going to have anything definitive for quite a while.
No problem. Can someone...
We'll send word the immediate moment we know.
Thank you. Yeah, it's best for us all to go. One, it's better to get rest and not be...
Hi, Corvus.
Hi, Corvus.
BMS.
He's disconnected. Okay.
When I get through the other side, I'm making sure to take the armor out of the bag of holding.
Okay.
So that way it's out.
Yeah. All right. So we do that, and I assume you spend some time with your family because there else to do, right?
I'm gonna go hop on the radio and suddenly start talking to somebody who'd be surprised I'm there. Say hi to Will.
You hear from the other side, Gifton. Oh no,
in the box.
She's trapped in the radio.
She truly is.
And then there's actually a really worrying scraping noise, like a radio's being toyed with. It's just him running his finger across the grill.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll take an easy night.
None of you received word until early next morning. The Wraith Guard, most of them went back with you, but one of them will sort of knock on Gonna knock on Carrick's door.
Yes.
Knocking on Carrick's door.
Get your fellows up. It changed trajectory. It's following your friend.
Not surprising. Thank you. We'll.
At the same time, Gifton. You are roused.
Yep.
By Care, sort of gently nudging you, going, "Honey."
Huh?
Yeah. There's Wilhelm. Is on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
And you go to the radio, and here we'll
Stuck in the Box Man.
Oh, hello. Yes, this is Stuck in the Box Man here with Lufa and Fowler and Melinda, and it's all of us. We're all here.
So this was actually, we're not getting to have a fun discussion. Sorry.
No. So whatever you did, it has changed trajectory towards you.
All right. Well, that's good. That confirmed what I thought I knew.
Yes. I don't understand any of these numbers, but apparently, it was a very hard to observe change in direction. Some nonsense about distance and angling, but yes. So how are you summoning this?
We have uncovered a friend of ours had a set of armor that was made from their mother's skin. She was apparently a reincarnated version of the first dragon's child.
Would you mind coming back?
I should probably leave this here because you don't want me bringing that there.
No, please bring it with you. And then you hear Fowler's voice chiming, "Please bring it here."
All right. I'm gonna pack it up, and I'm gonna go teleport back that way.
Okay. At about that time, you're getting a send.
You get a little delayed by your children.
Which
hug all my kids. I'm gonna do a quick check because I haven't heard anything about how the forge shit's going. Is it doing okay?
It's doing very well, actually. They think they're actually developing a really reliable method for just working this metal.
Yeah, I'm basically hugging and kissing every single person. Even Lucian's getting a smooch. It's just everybody. I love them all. And then I'm giving that sad look of going back to the scary place where I got stabbed. Bye. Teleport back.
Well, that's disturbing. But you make your way back.
Actually, I don't think I have a sending stone to her.
Yeah.
No matter, because you are made to rouse everybody, Carrick, and then you are all directly escorted.
Yeah,
to the council chamber.
Actually, sending to her as we're getting roused and everything. It was going to be basically.
As well?
Yes, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in the same hotel we are.
Yeah.
Jax isn't going to bother messaging you because he's going under the assumption that they probably already got a hold of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was basically going.
Something that big, they would not leave her alone.
And within around a few minutes of each other, you're all in the council chambers with the full council in attendance.
I'm still holding up various different meat eggs for Dingus because
Dingus has taken a bite out of each in turn. Rather than eating them one at a time.
Occasionally raising one up for him to nom on, and just having this dejected look of, I can't believe I had to go get like 1 billion of these for
But, so, may I see this particular piece of armor that you've mentioned, Fowler says?
Yeah, it's Harcount's mom. I'm gonna take out my bag and the bag of holding and start laying out the dragon scale armor and go, I had buried it because I thought it was remains and I wasn't sure what to do, but after we saw the portents of what happened of the thing, I kind of got a little worried about the fact that it didn't really make sense that the dragon was coming to destroy our wagon of all things. And then I realized that it wasn't really coming to do that. It was going after the remains of its child because that was the only thing that made sense. That why would it do that? So then we talked to Well, yeah. Anyway, here it is.
You see that small shifting of shoulders that is suppressed laughter from Wilhelm when you mentioned it, coming for our wagon.
It was the only thing that was kind of pointing it there at the time.
It was.
We had some incomplete intel.
Yes.
Indeed.
For some reason, the dragon just was always going to attack our wagon, and I was like, "What if it was something in the wagon?"
Well,
I'm certainly not smirking.
that does tell me at least that it's that and not what I carry.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Speaking of which, I would like to ask you to relinquish this into our hands.
You do realize that it's coming for. You don't want it to come here. It's incredibly destructive creature.
Apparently it is, and she's going to give a set count of days because I can't be bothered to open up the calendar.
I have the calendar open, but yeah, so the amount of days to get to Urson till the 22nd.
Yes. Yes, it is coming in there based on its current speed.
Yeah, that's the date we gave you.
Yes. Which gives us a little time to work.
All right. I will release.
This is one of the first items that we have that has a definitive connection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Gifton.
So you are
going to refill the glass?
No, I'm going to
I mean, there's enough barren property around here to be able to put it to that. We can pretty much
believe me,
right here on top of a city.
I have no intention of letting this just land and decimate us, but this could hold keys to repelling this thing. It is worth researching.
No,
perhaps it would be best that one of us accompanies.
In that matter, I'd like to ask that, and she actually gestures to Carrick.
What were you trying to say, Carrick?
In Enochian, I'm going to say to Gifton, there is the other item we know
I'm
of.
going to roll my eyes as you talk to me in Enochian and smile.
I don't want to bring up anything involving that in front of people that can hear.
So you're saying that you bring up the glass thing?
The what? I was thinking the egg.
Oh, the egg.
Because that's something we know tied to one.
This is how sneaky you've gotten with your wording. I thought you were talking about the glass thing that connects you to the dreamer, the glass figurine.
No, you mean the one that we see? No, I was talking because that one I'd openly talk about. No, I'm not sure about talking about things in the vault to anyone.
Oh, I will say kind of dismissively in Enochian, we don't need to hide from these people. And I'm going to say, Carrick wanted to get permission from me to discuss the fact that we also know where a egg of the first dragon resides.
Yes, different one of the first dragons.
It is currently
magical, from what I remember.
Yes, magical, not the physical. We happen to know an exact location, and I can fetch it. If you...
Alda actually looks momentarily disappointed, looking up at you and just going, I had hoped we weren't keeping secrets from each other.
I didn't need... I have been worried about the safety of this creature. I don't want it to come to any kind of harm. Yes. And I do not think that anything going on with the first dragon should impact its chance for life, if you understand.
That look of disappointment remains, and she just goes, I understand you wanting to keep it safe. Yes.
But I also understand that we all keep secrets from each other, and I'll be blatantly honest. The goddess Lulasil that we have mentioned, and we have in fact discussed the existence of, and I don't expect anyone to believe me. I have been withholding information from Barast about. She was the keeper of the vault of the gods. The side quest that we did on behalf of Barast and ambassadorally helping them with the Fae was that we went in and broke into that vault with permission from the Fae and got various magical doodads and became aware of various things that were in there. Inside that vault was that egg. I do not believe that Barash should at any point have access to that vault, which is why I don't bring it up.
I hope you
realize you understand that that is a big amount of trust for me to even acknowledge its existence to you.
Then those words will not leave this council chambers. However, any item with ties to the First Dragons, I hope you understand what an important research opportunity that is. I do wish you had informed us sooner of this egg.
There is one other thing that is not tied directly to them, but allows seeing of the physical, and Carrick is going to pull it out. We
brought that one up, though, didn't we? You said we brought it up.
I don't remember if
the first one we brought up that you were able to see him through a little glass thing.
Yeah.
But then
just hadn't directly produced the thing because it hadn't been exactly relevant at the time.
To be fair, we also informed them of everything in a very vague manner, so...
And at once,
Yeah.
So, it is... I'll be honest, for the two of us who have used this, it seems a dangerous viewing apparatus, as in they know when you use it on them.
I mean, to be fair, we can see him through a giant glass telescope at this point in time.
This is a lot closer.
Well,
I'm just saying that its relevancy might have dwindled a bit.
Yes.
If you would not mind also relinquishing that into our hands and yourself, Lord Mask.
I have full trust in you all. So,
on a related note of that, I have things that may be useful in the research of faith.
Marvelous.
That I have been. My brother, unfortunately, was recently afflicted due his attempts to try to avert the coming disaster, and became a fallen angel. And I had been working to try to help him. Gifton looks very sad. I have acquired for him the Blade of the Faithless. It is a culturally significant weapon. It is what Oberon used to sever the brownies from the Fae. It can sever a divine creature from the source without corrupting them to demonhood. It is why my people didn't go insane with the rest of the Fae as much.
Also another potential avenue of research there. Well,
but I wanted to give my brother a chance to decide to use it on himself before
this is how one use
trading
item.
It away.
But
no, I don't think it's one use. He used it on an entire grouping, but I'm just worried that the demon Turiel, remember I mentioned that she had something? The thing she dearly wants is she wants the Blade of the Faithless.
I see. Well, if you are willing to let us take care of it for a short while, I would be most grateful. And I can quite promise you that it will be handed back to you and not Turiel.
I appreciate that. Also, Valda, I would be willing to go over items from the vault if you wish. I'm going to pull out the branch with the apple on it.
Mm-hmm.
The Turn of Faith. I'm going to take the small dagger on my hip and start laying them down. This apple, if you eat it, you will become an angel for a day or a year. And then at the end of the year, if you have not eaten another apple, you will turn into a demon. This blade, if you stab yourself and get a mortal wound, you will die. But in the moments before you die, you will wield power unto a god. This is the Turn of Faith. It will change someone's religious feelings, their binding to any god or any celestial creature that you wish, but it will fill them with religious fervor. And it cannot be stopped by them or the thing that they attached to, which is why I've been concerned that somebody did something to Morgani. And and I also have this one. This apparently is supposed to be able to cure all sorts of mental, physical, and spiritual maladies, but it will make a mortal creature's head explode. So it fixes everything but kills you.
We also have character to pull the glove. Understanding it, when embracing another creature, it gives them understanding of yourself. We don't know what exactly that means because we have not tried it. But
we also have a arrow that if you are struck with it, you will die regardless of if you're an angel or anything else. It inflicts a wound in kind on the person who shoots it. And among us, we also have a blade that mutually assured destruction. It will kill the person that you stab and the person who stabbed.
We have an erasing lineage one as well.
No, I didn't bring that one out, Corvus. I say over at you. I said that one was evil, and we're not taking that one out.
Very patiently listening to you go through these items, pulling them out as you do.
Yeah, listening to the rest of the things from the vault and such, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There is...
Shax will also calmly pull and go. These are dimensional scissors. We know exactly what I allow you to travel dimensionally without the use of magic or otherwise. And he'll also pull up the magic metal melter and go, because this is the item that we found at Lord Dingus' bridge. It is able to melt any item regardless of magic, any metal regardless of magical or no.
We turned that over to her already.
Also,
Shax has not left his person.
Okay.
Not with us, but we do have a box that if you open it, it eats all magic, and magic will never return in the area around it.
We also have the bolt. I would prefer not to get it out at the moment.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of a delicate situation. We are also aware of in the vault that there is a time toxin. It spreads a malady amongst people in the area and traps them in time. Time does not pass for them. Anyone who tries to interact with them also gets trapped in time, and it spreads outwards. It apparently doesn't work on Fae because Oberon was just fine, but everybody else seemed to have a problem.
That was within his realm as well, so.
Well, technically it was inside the vault, which isn't in his realm, which is why he was frustrated.
Yeah, because he could not command those inside.
He couldn't command that realm.
So more mentally powerful than he is here.
We did tell you that we have done quite a few
yes.
things.
She's actually going to.
You understand? Any one of these items left in the hands of a mortal nation is madness.
Yes. And she's leaning over. She's touching a little control device, which I think you guys have sort of been through here enough to see that these tend to be direct lines to gargoyles. And she just seems to speak into this one and just says, please fetch Maresh and her students, please. Thank you.
I'm also going to hand Gifton the ring back. Since she's here, she might as well.
Yeah, and this was for you. I was thinking if I was away, it'd save you a spell slot.
Right.
There are other items in there. Ilan was more than willing to let me take what I wanted, but we thought that a lot of the things when we heard about what they do, they're very
too dangerous to be removed.
They're
or
too
niche to be useful.
I'm worried that they could be turned on the hand using them just as easily. And also they could do far too much damage that it wouldn't leave anything left to be saved.
Well, for one, I think you will agree that while that we are researching things, you should get locked in very, very secure boxes.
What?
The items.
Oh.
Not us.
They are a little dangerous to be leaving sitting on tables.
They are.
Yes. I am going to also say, I kind of flash my badge. This allows me access to the vault because I am Lawlessil's prime. It passed to me. But there is an angel of Lawlessil, which I mentioned. He is not connected to any gods right now, I think. But he is not a demon. And I think that is notable.
It is notable.
And he still has access to his power.
If you give us a moment, I'm calling a council vote right now. I suggest that we permit the angel, and she looks over at you, Gifton, as if expecting a name.
Dadriel.
Dadriel.
And Raziel. If you want the blade, we should bring him as well.
It's not about the blade, it is about connection, but this is the fallen one, yes?
Yes. That would be a very strict difference, though. You could look at the effect of a fall.
And of little concern to us on a more physical level. I'm calling a vote for the council that we allow the Angel Dadriel and the fallen Angel Raziel entry under heavy watch into Faramir soil for research purposes, should they permit it and agree to our terms. And there's a long moment of silence. Like you get the feeling that this is a very heavy thing for them to consider. Annalisa,
I would also submit myself as a reclaimed divinity for any research.
Annalisa shakes her head. Valda just raises her hand as is saying, I suggested this, I support it. Melinda keeps her hand down. Otto looks over to her and then seems to wait to see how others react. Luther raises his, as then does Wilhelm. And after a moment, Sigmund with a reluctant sigh as well, in which case Otto's hand follows. And the eyes have it. There will be permitted entry. If you could make it very clear to Dadriel that he is not to perform any holy acts while on our soil.
I think he'll be fine with that. He isn't a very flashy.
He's not one to throw his power around.
And in the interest of our relationship, I think it is only fair to let you know that if he disobeys that, we will have to react with the most force we can. That is something that we cannot have happen. And his display of angelic magic will be taken as a threat.
Understanding that you may ask him to do things, so as a means of test.
There will be exceptions under our own watch, yes.
Yes, so you're not going to ask him to do something and then hurt him, right?
No, of course not.
Okay. I will ask
I will re-specify unsanctioned acts.
Is there a limited place that you would want to keep them to? I would expect that it would not be permissible for them to run the entire city.
No, not permissible at all. We are going to set aside some of our more secure research labs, and we will that's a little bit of an unknown science to us. Will they be able to respond to coordinates for travel? If not, we can arrange for teleportation.
I can bring them through a nearby tree or a teleportation. They usually have to kind of know where they're going.
How alive does this tree need to be?
What?
There are no trees down in the labs, so we would have to cut one down and bring it down.
I can heal it. If you cut it down, I can regenerate it.
And then that is what we shall arrange for. Right, so we are agreed on that. You are happy for us to safeguard these items for now. If you require access to them, of course you will be granted. We just do not want them floating about.
Do you want to come with me to fetch the egg?
I would like to send a few of our people with you, if you would permit that.
I know.
In turn, I am actually requesting aid from you, Shaxon, Rotskala, Officer Adalas. You're both used to research, yes?
Yes.
I was going to ask to help anyways.
And your first-hand knowledge on some of these matters will be incredibly helpful, so I'd like you down there with us.
I just want to say this. The item in the box, that can't come into your city.
Yeah, we do not think that the item, we have specific measurements of how big of an area it affects, and we have been making sure that comes nowhere near your city.
If opened, it will probably.
If it's opened, it will kill every single one of you.
Well,
most likely.
in the small area that it affects,
Yes.
it only affects about a 60-foot range.
But it is.
But it's still quite. And we also don't know how to close it back up. Honestly, I should probably just put it back in the vault. We don't need it. I say that looking over all of everyone. I go, honestly, it was we were concerned about how we were gonna face our first dragon, and we were looking for anything that might work, and we're like, what about this?
I'll be honest,
like grabbing a grenade off a shelf. It sounded like a great idea at the time, but it's awful.
I mean this with all respect, Melinda piped up, but it is remarkable that you're all still alive.
It honestly is.
To be fair, we've lost several party members.
I don't understand it. I honestly don't.
We have had we've had losses. I say that with all earnesty. We have had losses.
Don't
give us credit.
Character to the group, just to make sure we covered this. I'm guessing we covered the whole. Did we cover the Warforged and the kids being put into the Warforged bodies and stuff with them?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we told them about all of that.
But
there's also we have. I don't know. We have the research notes from the incident in Saha that was tied to.
I will be blank. Give us everything you have, whether you think it is relevant or not. We have enough researchers to sift through.
I'm going to say this anyways.
Do you have systems for accessing spell shards?
Yes, we do.
I am actually looking dead over at Wilhelm. I hope you really take to heart a lot of the things that we are telling you Barast isn't aware of.
Yes.
Then, as Fowler said, everything said will be remaining within these chambers.
Because I love my country as much as anybody could, but they are capable of being bad people, as is a lot of people in the world. But I have seen things that they have done on different shores, and I do not want these kind of things to get into the wrong hands.
Yes.
Melinda will actually pipe up with, we're all capable of bad acts. We have simply learned to have a degree of foresight.
Yes.
And
head slightly cocked.
But yes, I am willing to assist in any way I can.
All right, well, we will agree to get the various components and do the various things, and then I kind of lightly push the things away that are on the table. I do look like I'm having a hard time with selflessness being there, because I kind of wanted to hold on to that one. I'm being a good girl.
Selflessness.
That's the one where you stab yourself to save the world.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Okay. If no one has anything they actually immediately want to say, we're going to go into a little bit fast forward time.
Okay.
Essentially, the meeting goes on for a bit longer because they talk about things amongst themselves. They check in with you, and essentially they actually get organised on timetables of research when Dadriel and Raziel are to arrive, that sort of thing. Give you time to actually alert them, give them a heads up. And this is where we are going to broach into downtime. Essentially, they go into heavy research and preparation mode. The manner of research varies on the items. Gifton, you are actually given a team of trusted mages and a couple of sturdier wraiths that will head with you to the fort if you're willing to take them.
I'll take them.
And the mages will actually request to spend some extended time there. They want to actually properly start cataloguing.
Mm-hmm. We'll get them as much information as we can. What's in there?
Thankfully, they do not need to be attended, but they understand if you don't want to leave them unattended here. But frankly,
the robots will do it.
Yeah, they can just work. They don't need to rest, eat, sleep.
Yep. So I will trust them as much as I can, but also I don't want to abandon them in the Feywild.
Yeah, if you want, you can direct the facility guard, what little remains of it, to overwatch them.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. While you're there, you are actually visited on by Titania.
Great, so I'm running around with like a bunch of skeletons and wraiths.
Which you're actually you are actively like moving about with them because they are moving things outside because they don't want things piling up inside. They're grabbing the occasional item that they think is of importance, and sometimes it doesn't seem obvious why, but apparently important. Thankfully, it all seems to be low risk stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's one of these moments where you're outside that you see Titania just sort of like, hands just gently held in front of her, clasped together, just watching you and the skeletons curiously with a soft smile on her face.
I'm gonna wave, my lady, and I'm gonna give a curtsy.
My lady. And she bows slightly to you.
Morris calls me that. He's really sweet.
Morris.
Yeah, Lord Morris.
Oh, yes, a minor lord of the Farlands.
He's trapped over on Hexenreich. The way is close. All that's left is his little grove and about 5 other Fae that don't want to wake up anymore.
She actually looks genuinely saddened when you say that.
They're sad, I think. I think they're more sad than they've ever been.
You understand that there is little I can do about that. I cannot move there myself.
Can I take you through the trees to there and you can visit? And then take you back?
You understand our nature.
Not as much as I like to think I do.
Well,
I know everything here's connected and cyclical and stuff.
You know that it is very uncommon to see Fae outside of their areas. I think perhaps the furthest drift you've seen is the ambassador to Barast, yes?
Yeah.
And he only steps there because his mother was mortal.
Oh, that's lovely.
You know that Oberon has stepped into your world, but only when.
He was kind of angry.
And he brought a lot of his with him.
Mm-hmm.
The more powerful we are, the harder a time we have separating ourselves from the energies of the Feywild.
He's saying if I tried to bring you to Furamir, you would bring...
It depends. I could rent apart my own land trying to cross, which is not good for my subjects. Or I would simply fade and falter, and my energy would eventually recoalesce.
So there's no way.
We would need the Feywild itself to be reconnected. Well, no. You say he is lonely.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could find no few small subjects that are capable of travelling. Some of the lesser dryads, naiads, a few satyrs, fauns perhaps. I would suggest pixies, but she has that look as if like she loves them, but they're unreliable little shits.
Gibson is trying not to take this to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Trying not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She actually gives you a wry smile. Well, pixies are pixies. But yes, I could send a small contingent from my court to keep him company.
That might be good. I mean, at least even for a small visit, and I could bring them back. They don't have to be there forever. But, how's Oberon? How are you?
I'm okay. Oberon is not.
Oh.
I fear he is having a little bit of backslide. And she just raises a hand to start upside down, and she's sort of gesturing a rebellion. A fearful one.
He's like,
it's easier to continue as you were than to try and accept and change. I think he's scared of the emotions he has been feeling.
Gibson's shoulders sag a little bit. Oh.
But they're not. Well, he has been refusing my company, and she says that with a sort of genuine look of sadness and disappointment on her face. He continues to go to the lighthouses, all the same.
I give her a hug.
And she'll just gently embrace you with one arm, giving it a little pat. I also think he is worried about his subjects.
The Warforge?
Not just them, but all of his subjects. There's been some disquiet about the change I am bringing along. For such a changeable, malleable creature that we are, it seems that many of us fear real change.
So there's disquiet in the realm.
She nods.
I am sorry for the trouble that you are dealing with, and I am not here to help.
There is no need for you to apologize. The trouble is a welcome one, for it is progress, and your duties are required elsewhere. This is the way of things, and it is important.
I've been telling people in Faramir about how Lord Oberon hangs the stars at night.
That's very sweet. He started to do that for me,
I know. I told them that the reason the stars come out at night is Lord Oberon's put them up there for his lovely lady.
She looks vaguely wistful at that, as if remembering better times. She just shakes her head and goes, "You will be able to arrange passage for my subjects."
Yes, I will do so.
Then if you attend my court on tomorrow's eve, I'll have them prepared for you.
Yes, of course. And if you do end up seeing him, please give Lord Oberon my best.
Of course.
I know I don't have the best relationship with the man. I'm not sure. I think I disquiet him a bit.
She just nods and it's like, yeah.
But I think fondly of him in a weird. I mean, it's weird because I should hate him a lot more than I do, but
you understand his situation.
Yeah, and I wish I could be a friend to him, but I understand I don't get to.
I think he would like much the same. Otherwise, he would not be so disquieted by you. I'm afraid I must depart. I am just a curious creature by nature. And she looks over at the skeletons with a smile.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave over at the skeletons. Hey guys, Lady Titania's here.
There's
they're really just nonplussed about everything in the Fae right now.
No, a couple of them actually look mildly curious and also slightly on edge. Titania for herself just gives a little casual wave and just goes, "They're quite beautiful."
They have the prettiest souls. I keep telling them that. I think that might creep them out a little bit, but they do.
I think their physicality is as well.
Oh, you like that?
It's different and a good kind.
Yeah.
It's life where normally you would not see it, and there's something beautiful about that.
Mm-hmm. And some of them have the prettiest eyes. They glow.
Well, do take care of them.
I will.
You are a friend of the Feywilds, but the Feywilds remain dangerous nonetheless.
On the bright side, I'm not afraid about them starving.
A small blessing.
Yep. Alright, bye, my lady.
And she curtsies in return, and then she just sort of fades away into the tree line.
Yep.
You continue collecting, and indeed, on the if you recontact Fermia, explaining about wanting to bring some Fae through from Rosa's situation, you will at first get her like really on top of all the rest of this reaction, but you'll actually hear Luther on the other end getting a little angry about that reaction, and eventually you are able to arrange some passage through. Basically, they just want you to do a direct tree travel from wherever you are.
Right to the park.
Right to the park.
Yep. So I have to take them out of the Fae.
Yep.
Into the real world. Out of the Fae.
Yep.
Into the Fae. Luckily, I don't have to take them into the Fae again. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Shaxton, Corvus, Carrick. You are. Well, unfortunately for you, Carrick, there's actually a lot of blood drawing and such. Like, you are being used as a sample subject. You're being asked to focus on things. They are, like, trying to run, like, psychic crystal tests on you.
Just wonder if they're going to figure out the Noran thing. Randomly, someone suddenly goes, wait.
If they do not bring it up.
That's all we need is add that into this whole mess right now.
Shaxton and Corvus, you are asked to basically assist in tests on various items, primarily focusing on the armor. Shaxton, you are more put in charge of magical properties, any ties and connections this might actually have in the visible spectrums. Corvus, you are actually asked to look into it from a more material biological standpoint, because frankly they don't understand the function of these creatures, and for all they're aware, these extraplanar beings might have a more biological connection than magical.
And after they wrapped everything else, Shax would, when they're starting to move everything, also add in, that dimensional magic box we bought 10,000 years in the past. He'll add that into the pile of things, saying, I do not know what it is, I bought it from this.
Okay. Right.
Better safe than sorry, essentially.
Telde. Strange enough,
yes.
You kind of get picked up by Melinda.
Oh my.
Who brings you in on help of defense. However, you can see that she's approaching this from a very militaristic standpoint, and she starts asking you to essentially look at her plans and start prodding and poking and running havoc, as you did. She wants you to come up with any disruptive elements so that she can try and plan for them, because they are dealing with a chaotic force.
Smart move, honestly.
Yeah. She is not so much focused on the physical dragon as she is the oncoming Hexenreich army, because soon reports start coming in that they have been spotted by scouts on the move directly for Fermia. And after a couple of days of back and forth reports, a sad loss of a couple of scouts, they get the confirmation. Within a margin of 1 or 2 days, error, either way, these should be arriving approximately at the time that the physical would. And it is a large Hexenreich force. They suspect that this is essentially an amalgamation of most surviving forces in Hexenreich. There are multiple capital class airships. There are entire multiple battalions. There's a whole array of weird skirmish forces comprised of maddened civilians, farmers, all manner of things. They have something that most of you haven't even heard of before, which is armored battalions, which are actually strange walker tanks. They are
like iron harvest stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
They are marching a massive force directly for Furomir.
Oh no.
Gifton? When you're not overlooking things, you and Cassie are taken out to start working on battlements. You are basically directed to start doing both the wooden emplacements and, frankly, not the stone emplacements, and frankly, they want wooden stuff as well. They want barricades that can be collapsed and moved at will. They want spike traps. They want all manner of...
So basically, they want me to make pits and things like that can we can fill them with sharpened rock or sharpened things and spikes.
And then they want wooden shield walls and such that can be moved for archers and so on and so forth.
When we get things set up, I am gonna start casting Druid Grove multiple times a day. Like probably 4 or 5. Like because we still had more than a month out at the point that this started. I can do it like probably 4 times a day at different points to do the thing. I will hopefully if I'm allowed, I'm gonna go around and talk to the trees because I can do that.
Yep.
I'm gonna find out what trees are willing to fight.
Okay. Marvelous. You how many trees can you bring to fight?
With the Druid Grove, I can do 2 for free. And per Druid Grove, I can cast that like 4 times, so I could do 8 trees. I can also awaken. Awaken unfortunately costs material components, so I would only consider doing awakening magic if we in fact have more trees that are willing to fight. Then I can do the grove for. But it'd be probably 8 trees possible.
I want you to give me just a persuasion check, and this isn't trying to convince them. This is just a general conversational thing.
Yeah, I just want to know. I don't want to force them.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This isn't actually trying to get them to do it. This is just a general conversational thing. Okay, Gifton, go ahead and roll me 2d4.
Okay.
Wow, on top of your Druid Grove, freebies, you find 8 trees that are willing to fight. And these are old oaks, strong, sturdy.
Okay. I will need agates to because I don't have them. They get consumed.
Any magical reagents you require for anything will be supplied.
Okay. All right. Well, I will make 8 living thinking trees and then basically convey to them, these are your friends in Furomir, help them, and then basically just be like, okay, I'm adding trees to the fight.
Once word of the approaching Hexamite forces actually reaches both Furomir and the military friendly Hexamite encampment, for his credit, Costner becomes very professional. The little liaison that was being set up with one of his men and one of the Furomir men going back and forth seems to work okay enough. Most of his men hold any energies they might have, and Costner is respectful. And it seems that you would guess purely because of he's occupied with the idea of actually defending.
Are we able to get Gurimager armor or
you are indeed. Not only that, your entire battalion arrives through Gifton.
Nice.
The force assigned to you. Well, that's not including Hev Day. They do, however, arrive alongside the Warforged Irregulars, which includes Hev Day, and it includes 20 other Warforged, which have their own particular armaments. They are not a cohesive unit, it doesn't look like, although they chat and move together and seems like they would work together. It's not exactly an organised armament. A couple of them carry swords, one of them's a bowman, someone's like carrying this big fuck off hammer. It's that sort of scattered. But most notably, each of them is wearing a sort of strip of fabric hanging off of their left pauldron. And embellished on it are just a series of musical notes.
I like them.
Out of curiosity, did they form any?
Yeah. I'm not even going to ask you guys if there's any performance or anything. You're well versed enough in music to know that, this creates a little tune that it feels like part of a marching song is what you would guess. But it's not one any of you've heard before.
Does Hevday have that?
But it's one they clearly all remember, so they put it on their pauldrons. That's kind of cool.
Hevday does not have one.
Oh, dang, I was kind of hoping for just big one.
I'm gonna offer to cast this. If we know the time up ahead, it lasts for 10 days. I can cast that like probably 5 times a day. So if we wanted, we could just go around and fuck up the terrain for a mile square 5 times in all directions around if we want to, if they told me what they wanted, but I don't know if they want that.
Yeah. We'll sort that out in post because it's definitely useful.
Well, you said it's going to be the same time, so never mind. That's that is showing up.
What I would like is I would like each of you to basically roll me a tool or stat that you believe is relevant to the things I've told you are doing. So, Cassie, your carpentry stuff, Gifton, well, basically you're doing straight up magic. I'd like you to do intelligence for the placements and so on.
Or can I do wisdom?
Yeah, I'll allow wisdom. Shaxton, Corvus, I'd like you to roll relevant research things. I will allow alchemy. I will just allow arcana. Telde, if you go ahead and give me a straight out, we're going to do perception for you because I want you to be spotting things and exploiting them.
Perception or investigation?
Oh, actually, investigation, I do like that.
All right.
And Carrick.
Yeah, I was just say I have no idea, so you have to tell me.
Carrick, I need you to roll me a Constitution save.
Save.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm not near gifting at this point, so
for me.
we got a lot of cards. We have a lot of cards.
Are you going crazy? You're going crazy.
No, I'm getting blood drawn.
He's getting blood drawn constantly.
Yeah.
Do you want alchemical, medical, or medicine?
I want alchemical from you.
Are they taking samples from me too?
Yeah, they will take a few samples from you. They take a few and then they don't. That is fucking ridiculous.
Sure, do that. We'll do
roll the 19 of all things.
Yep.
I hate this. I hate being here.
Is this? I'm actually need to look at how my boon works.
Me and Cassie are so far the lowest at 28.
Yeah, this is good. So I'm just gonna say to Telde, you have made Melinda's defense perfect. There is nothing to exploit.
Fuck it.
Melinda is really pleased to have you on her side.
Yeah.
She's pleased she's not dealing with you as a problem again.
We'll boost that.
Oh, have you considered protecting against this? Wait, why? Oh, I used to exploit that all the time.
She's like, wait,
I didn't know it was a common.
Okay, let's see.
37 on mine.
Oh my god, there's so many.
I mean, I figured I can't just.
Yes, you're in the same research area, so yeah.
About getting like Tauren oil or something like that for the trees.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with Otto.
I'm actually curious.
Only worked with specific types of wood.
I don't know. This is it's something that's stuck.
I know what it was, so I just want to. Okay, so Otto will basically be like,
thinking like,
yes, we have a supply. What do you want it for? You explain what it's for, and he'll tell you that it won't work. You'll need a specially formulated treatment, and he will then put you in contact with that.
Oh, good, because I was just thinking like if we could make them a little bit more robust, right?
Yeah, they are. You are going to give the treants +4 AC.
Okay, cool. And also, if possible, we're gonna probably bring over the simulacrums.
Yep, that's entirely fine.
And I'm going to give Valda the Scroll of Wish and explain to her that I had intentions of using this at the beginning of the fight, versus the Hexenreichers to cast a protection against I'm trying to think of what it's called.
What? Is that the one I'm carrying, or is this?
You gave it to me. Remember?
Okay.
You gave it to me.
Oh, so, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you gave that one to me. But I was going to use it to protect them against the divine anti-undead stuff.
Yeah.
The turn undeads and stuff like that. For the city of Faramir, so that way I wouldn't burn myself out.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest that it may better if somebody was going to cast something on Faramir, it be her.
Okay.
And you know, I would encourage it for protecting them from the divine.
Okay. She will heed your advice.
And I will say, I will do what I can, and I will also offer to cast a heroic feast for some people the night before.
Okay.
For who can eat. I don't know who can eat.
Also, I'm going to continue on for a second. You also get a delivery from home. Raziel and Lucian and Raziel and Care have all worked up items for you. Items is the wrong word. Some are attachments. Some are basically, you'll get what looks like to be a sort of little brooch that is made in the form of a shield. It's got Care stamp on it. And
literal care package.
Care package.
Yeah. And it is made of the strange metal.
Nice.
Each of you have an attachment for a weapon of choice. You have a focus for casting if you need it, and you have a we're just going to call it a protection amulet for now. And they also double check: are they allowed to distribute this to any friendly forces?
I would like to.
Okay. So essentially, it's still not a fast amount because they haven't worked it all. But I will ask, do you want to prioritize Faramir, the friendly Hexenworkers, the Warforged, or your battalion? Or do you want to try and get an even thing out? Do you want to exclude the Hexenworkers? Understandable.
I want to do... I'll be honest, I do want to do some of my people, some of the Warforged, some of Faramir, and a bit for the Hexenreich. Not nearly as much, but also they aren't going to be as big of a force.
Right,
so
match one to have Dave's cannon.
Right, when you when these are being sort of rounded out and you are going to basically make a trip to the Hexenreich camp, you're actually going to be stopped by Melinda. She's going to sort of motion you aside, and she goes, "You're supplying them with the metal."
I mean, it seems like I shouldn't I? I mean, they're going to go into this just as much as we are.
That's the morally correct thing to do.
But they also don't know anything about it, and withholding it from them wouldn't give them any information, right?
Yes. I would greatly advise against it. Whether you want to listen to an old tyrant or not is up to you.
Gonna smile. If you listen to my brother, I come from a long series of fools. How about I'm going to take a couple of the brooches. Protections. Nothing else.
I would not let them have metal in manage this amount, but you should do what your heart tells you.
Did we get the chance for Shax to attempt the subterfuge there?
Yeah,
if you guys want to, yeah, I would definitely let it happen in its time.
Yeah, can Shaxton try the subterfuge? Because I want to. That will weigh me heavily.
Okay, I need you guys, because you've all discussed this stuff without me. What is your subterfuge plan?
Oh, I just meant the one we talked about in this
The one we talked about again, not the killing of the guy.
Not the murder. Not the murder.
Yeah. I see.
No, we aren't murdering the guy right now. We don't have. We didn't set up for that.
Well, I mean this is the month setup time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is if we know that he can see the stars, we're fucking killing the man.
Yeah, it really influences a lot of what's going to happen. So that's why I wanted to make that.
We're looking for, is there a reason to kill Krosner right now?
Okay, I'm going to ask, when during the month do you want to do this? Do you want to do this like pretty soon after the discovery of this whole eye thing?
Probably at least the start of it, and then that would probably dictate how much more has to happen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so doing it early on, like the first night or the second night, and then that would dictate if he can see it, then yeah, we need to go through the steps of removal. If he doesn't, then he's still not great to have on the field, but
in that case, Shaxton, you head down to the camp. Yeah. Are you doing this alone? Trying to be subtle about it? Okay.
He'll come actually bearing drinks, basically.
Right. So
actually properly sealed bottles as well.
Right. So
it looks like there's no subterfuge on, no poison, nothing. Makes every step to make sure it's.
Yep. You are readily welcomed into the camp. Costner is overjoyed to see you. Overjoyed to see you alone. You know, and it's not even a case of like, I don't want those filthy things with you. It's just like,
I honestly think
my buddy's here.
Without the hang-ons he doesn't know and is uncomfortable with.
And he will happily sit down with you and start having a drink. Getting him just pleasantly tipsy, you know, not incoherent. How do you want to gauge him? What do you say?
Shax will actually. I'm not going to outright say Chase just because I'm not great at playing the line for it, but he'll basically start a line of questioning towards. Would I be able to remember if he was a faithful man? Or was it very much just it was the nation?
He always spoke as if he were a faithful man, but you've known a lot of soldiers that have done that and aren't. If you want, go ahead. I want both a persuasion and an insight check from you.
Okay. I know I get advantage on persuasion because I have that on the thing noting now. So.
Okay, very nice.
One, and I'm just going to double cards. Usually. I'm just seeing which one of these I want to burn.
I just might as well roll and then ditch one post.
Oh, yeah, I already figured it out.
Yeah.
Gonna get advantage on the roll for insight, and I'm gonna bump it to a 22.
Okay, right. So with your persuasion, you managed to gauge the subject of faith without just going, "Hey, what about that Eye of Morgani?" You managed to get him talking about it, and with your insight check, you do get the feeling that Costner lost his faith a long time ago. He believes in Hexenreich, he believes in the nation, but he is not a holy man. Which would make it seem that the whole Eye of Morgana gambit probably not going to work.
I mean, Saxon would make him a holy.
Well, then that means I haven't got a reason to hate the man as much I want to.
He is happily invited you in drinking. During your talks, he's actually been walking around camp with you, you know, because just sitting down is boring. He's a soldier, he needs to move. And you've wandered off and away from the camp. None of his men around.
I'm going to, because Shax is a smart man. Shax did not come with a gun.
Okay. Right.
That is.
And I'm going to assume that you do not try to strangle him or anything?
No, he's not going to try his weapons. He is actually. One thing he will ask him, have any of your men mentioned seeing the Eye of Morgani?
And he gives you a sidelong glance when you say that, and he just goes, "You're not seeing it, are you?"
No, they're saying, but there are some who've learned things. Some is that is an early sign of the madness, possibly.
He nods and goes, a couple of my men.
Any that are, I would highly suggest on.
They've been shot already.
I was just going to say not on them as heavily, but that's the way to handle it as well.
We encountered people early on, civilians, that it took us far too long to recognise that as a sign. We lost too many good men because of it. So we keep an eye out now.
Good.
And he's actually going to pull out a pocket watch and sigh a bit and goes, "Oh, bit late. Well, I appreciate you coming down. I know things are hectic, but it's nice to think about the old days before all of this."
We will get there again.
Yeah, we will. And he's just going to clasp his shoulder.
Survive what is coming. We need to survive what is coming first.
We'll make it through. Hexenreich will rise again. And
Josh will give him the pat on the shoulder as well,
and he will depart from you.
A polite salute.
And giving the soul searching, I'm going through. Just thinking about this. Gifton will not give anything for the Hexenreich for that camp of that metal because it is too dangerous long term. It won't be reclaimed.
Congrats, so. Jackson, by not going, "Hey, do you see the eye too?" as you guys were planning. You did not get shot by a whole load of men in his camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that could be the problem, is that no matter which way that went, that could scuttle anything later. So that's why I was like, I don't want to play it out exactly because I don't know exactly what I'd say, but like, Shax is smarter than me. He should be able to think of something.
Yeah, which I was like, yeah, I'm going to let you use the persuasion and insight to like gauge this carefully. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yes. So
I will make Melinda happy, and I will only split it against the other groups.
Okay. In that case, do you want to do an even split between the three friendly groups?
Yes.
Okay.
I will actually let Melinda be privy because I'm trying to be very open with them about stuff, and I'm going to give it be like as far as I'm concerned, these groups this much. That's fine.
Okay. In that case, you are able to arm and armor 10 from each group.
Okay.
Melinda directs this towards a specialized unit of Wraithguard that she has, that she seems to think would make best use of these armaments. The Warforged distribute them. They do harm half day. And which of your forces would you like to have this arms and protection?
I'm gonna say my Gurmagir probably, because they're gonna be in the worst.
10 of those.
Because the 10 of the air mages, just because they're gonna be actually covering the battlefield a lot faster than everybody else, and they're gonna be head to head with dragons and shit like that. So I feel like that they'd probably be the best ones.
And they're probably going to be targeted by the Hexenreich forces since they know what they are.
Yeah, so they're the most targeted set, so I'll say them.
Okay, very nice. Oh, and that should mention that rather a shocking sight that comes through for you guys with Gishon's battalion is the reports of those Hexenreich crews having these strange armored vehicles. One comes through from Barast. You've never seen these before. They were not part of any military units that Telday was aware of. But you essentially have a walker tank.
Yeah.
Fighting works both ways.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And the researchers, I'm going to say everybody has done superbly on their roles of preparation. Maybe not as superbly as Telday, but everyone's done very well.
Everyone else did very fine for a mortal creature that hasn't lived 10,000 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I may have asked specifically for my best stat.
This means that researchers bump into one very annoying fact that they find to be pretty indisputable. You have a roadblock. They have tested various items, the armor, the egg. There is definitely a connection there. However, understanding it and exploiting it is dependent on one very important thing. You need a sample from one of the first.
Surprise! We know how to get one.
Fury.
Yeah.
Spirit's not a physical creature, but we could try.
You could try. Do you guys want to try and trust upon Spiri?
Were there shards left of the crystal when it broke?
Yes, but I don't think you guys really gathered any up, and I will tell you that is not a physical presence for Spiri.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you'd be able to get anything off of it, so...
Oh, yeah, because it also was mentioned for the thing, just for completeness. Shax would have brought over the crystal from the airship that he'd put into the system there, along with all of his research notes, along with the notes that were like good things to look at.
Okay.
The stuff from all
Basically, putting them at the same step he was at of researching it.
I'm going to push through the people of Faramir in our group. Let's contact Spiri.
Okay. Right. In that case, one of the things the Faramirians will request, because they're going to ask to examine some of the things that come through, especially that tank.
Yeah.
Which the tank has magical cannon, as its a primary battle weapon. It actually has standard ammunition, anti-personnel armaments. But yes, its main weapon is a magical cannon. The Faramirians are going to suggest working the spell devouring to cast higher spell power thing into it.
Interesting.
To make it fire out stronger.
Supercharged.
They think that basically supplying that tank with a bunch of basically spell charges beforehand, and then having that worked into its main system, is going to make that pack way more of a punch.
Sure.
When it comes to standard.
Yeah, that makes sense to us.
And basically, we come to the table on things as often and quickly as possible, and Gifton's very agreeable as long as it's things that are going to help for
in that case, Shaxton, they are going to ask for your help on that because you're a good tech man. You will get advantage because of their assistance as well as a +2.
Okay. And just roll
tools. Yeah. Your general generic tool roll.
Yeah.
Oh, and as the month progresses, Gifton starts to develop a baby bump.
29. I'm going to bump it to being a 37.
Okay. Wow. 37. In that case, not only do you work this in so that it can feed off the power cells that supply to it, you are going to have it wired in to basically take on a lot of wasted energy that the tank otherwise has through its movement systems, its its cooling, the gun's recharging cycle. This is going to be able to fire more frequently, more powerfully, and frankly, this is going to be a devastating weapon.
Fantastic.
Great. We have another thing for the vault.
Oh, God. There is so much vault stuff here.
Shax would be just writing in the notes, noting down. Afterwards, we need to remember to remove this before we send it back to Barass. Jesus.
We just send the whole thing into the vault.
Okay.
I wonder what happened.
As you all
sucked in
prepare for contacting Spiri for the upcoming battle, this is where we're going to end this week's session.
No.
Oh, actually, no. I should say before that, Cass.
Yes.
A box arrives for you.
A box arrives for me.
Okay. It is a large wooden crate with the words "wide load" written on it.
Oh, it's addressed to Cass.
And it is addressed to Cass.
Yeah, it's wide load.
Wide load.
Cracking it open with a crowbar.
Cass is going to move it someplace private first.
Okay, yeah, you can take it.
Well, actually, we'd have to probably get it looked at.
Actually, yeah, you wouldn't be so much private because the Faramirians are checking stuff that is coming through. You can do it in fake privacy with a couple of quartermasters from the city.
Yeah, it's going to be away from prying eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, you crack it open, and there is a system of harnessing wires and what looks like to be a bizarre cannonish shaped thing that you can only guess is a gun.
Fuck is this?
I guess that's the wide load. The quartermaster says here.
Cass is going to start looking for a manual or something.
It's an air quote manual. It's essentially the working documentation they had while designing it.
It's an IKEA manual.
It might make sense if you're Shaq Sam.
They have basically sent you like the working prototype. This needs to get out there now.
Is this basically a miniaturized version of Hevday's cannon?
In a sense.
In a sense, that's one thing it can do.
Yes. Yes.
So it straps to my side then.
Smart rifles from Aliens.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Bit beefier.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's got an armature.
Yep.
Armature.
The armature is both to help support it, and it actually connects directly to a large power supply.
Oh God! So literally, part of it is strapped to her side.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have a. You're basically you're lucky you're a Tor.
It's probably got like a letter in there from Stenhouse. It's just like hearts on it.
Yep, from Stenhouse with love.
Good luck.
Let him know what's for.
Don't use buttons 1 and 2 together.
And
Give
that
them hell, girl.
is where we'll end this week's session.
Cass hits 1 and 2 while facing something, and all we hear is this.
Okay. Everyone take a nice 5,000 experience points.
Ooh.
Take your usual piety, and we will do this same time next week.